Okay, I'm recording. Did you crush a Red Bull or something? No, I'm good. I'm good. All right. How do I start this? Okay. Here we go. All right. Dude, what do I say, bro? Just fucking get on with it, bro. Okay. Hey, everyone. We just finished doing our clear of contest epic TP, and a lot of people are looking for guides. I don't know if there is a guide right now. So I have a clip of each of our encounter clears, and I'll try to, in my semi-lucid state here, to the best of my ability, explain how each encounter works and what I think is probably the best strat for it going into the encounter if I were to do it again. Okay. So we have Hydra, we have Hydra, Wyvern, Hob, Harpy. That's the order that we did our encounters in. You can choose the order of encounters that you want to do, but just be aware that this will influence how the rest of your clear goes. And the reason for that is because at the final boss, there's a mechanic where you have to kind of engage with 3 of the mini bosses, Hydra, Hob, and Wyvern. And the order in which you engage with them is going to be the order that you chose to clear them in the beginning of the raid. Okay. So for us, for example, we encountered Hydra for the first part of the mechanics during final boss, and then we did Wyvern, and then we did Hob. Honestly, in my opinion, the Wyvern mechanics are probably the most annoying when it comes to final boss. So if you want your most annoying mechs to get out of the way first, so you don't have to wipe later, I would probably do Wyvern first. Honestly, I'd probably do Wyvern first because it's the most annoying when you get to final boss. So I would do probably Wyvern first, and then maybe Hydra second and Hobgoblin third, because Hobgoblin definitely is the easiest mechanics, I would say, once you actually start doing final boss. Okay, so if you don't have any preference, I would say do Wyvern first, then do Hydra, then do Hobgoblin. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started by looking at our Hydra replay here. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna assume for the purposes of this video that you already know how to do the raid on normal. Okay, because the raid has been out. And I assume if you wanted to do contest DP or epic DP, that you probably already did normal DP. I feel like that's a fair assumption to make. So the first thing that you might notice when we get into this encounter here is that there are an extra set of eyes above the right side room and above the left side room. That is because there are some new mechanics that they have added to this encounter. And so I'll explain how they work real quick. So at the start of the encounter, you're doing basically the same thing. Now I will say, right, this encounter, as well as some sections of other encounters, the combat is more intense than you might be expecting. It's more intense than what you might be expecting. I would say in general, my sentiment towards this raid is that the damage checks are much easier than contest OG DP was, but the combat in some areas can be harder, and surviving during boss damage is way easier. Okay, so you're very unlikely to die to something like a laser or anything like that during damage. And I think the best teams, or even just good players in general, generally should not be dying outside of mechanical failures in this raid. Okay, so outside of doing a mech wrong or something, you shouldn't generally be dying. Okay, so one thing I would say is that make sure you're making a lot of special finishers. Mint is on top of being very good for boss damage, extremely, extremely good for ad clear, especially if you're not someone that is playing Hunter or Titan and you don't have a strong ability build that's able to handle ads for you. You should definitely be having your team spam special finishers. So everybody that I know that went into this raid, everybody has 2 loadouts, right? You have a Heavy Finder spam loadout with super farming and stacks on stacks and shield break charge and siphon mods and blah, blah, blah. You have that stuff on your running loadout, and then you don't swap any of your stat mods or your tuning, and then you have your damage loadout. So everybody should be running special finisher, finders, whatnot during mechanics. Okay. So see here, it's basically the same up until this point, right? It's the same. You're just killing ads, killing Minotaur. You have the Cyclops here, which is, I think this is -30 if I'm not mistaken. So probably easier to kill than it was on actual contests. And then you notice here that actually, instead of 1 person getting on each plate, you have 2 people getting on each plate. Okay, so me and Bran here, we're getting on the plate. On the other side, you have Aqua and K3. And the reason is, while you're doing the outer eye mechs, there's also some additional mid mechanics that are happening, and I'll explain that in just a second. So you'll see here, we're waiting and waiting. We got the buff, we go in, and you'll notice when I go in here, there are actually going to be 2 glowing eyes. Okay, so 2 glowing eyes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to call out 2 and 4, right? So this is, hold on, my drawing was not working. This is 2, this is 4, right? I'm going to call 2, 4. And on the other side, K3 is going to call 2 of his eyes. And my eye calls, right? Bran is going to see above the wall here. There's going to be 6 eyes. Remember the ones above my doorway. He is going to see his eyes, and he's going to shoot 2 and 4 like I have called out. So same side call outs. I'm going to call 2, 4. He's going to shoot 2, 4. After he breaks both 2 and 4, one of his 2 eyes is going to be glowing. Now, I don't know what that looks like because I didn't look at his POV, but rest assured, he's told me it is glowing, right? And when he calls what is glowing, right, K3 will shoot what he calls. So let's say I call 2, 4. Bran shoots 2, 4. He ends up seeing that 4 is glowing out of the pair that he shot. He will call 4. K3 will then listen to that call on the other side and shoot 4. Now let's say K3 calls 1, 2. And Aqua, he sees 1, 2 on his wall. He shoots 1, 2. He says 1 because 1 is glowing for him. I would then shoot 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to the comms here.
3, 4.
3.
So he says 3, right? Now look what I do. I wait. Okay, another thing that I want to say here is that every time you break a pair of eyes successfully, the boss will spawn these 3 like little seekers, these little you know, those vex traps that like detain you, right? And the thing is, in this encounter, you can't undetain yourself. So getting detained is really bad because it doesn't protect you. There's a lot of other raids where being detained actually protects you from outside fire. It does not protect you in this encounter. So getting detained is basically a death sentence in certain moments. So what do you want to do to make sure that you don't get detained? Well, make sure, I would say, run a trace or an SMG or a high fire rate weapon. Rocket sidearm won't cut it. Like it's just, you want something that's high fire rate weapon. So getting detained is basically a death sentence if you're in the wrong position, right? So pop your well, you know, use your nade, whatever. I would say this raid is a lot more forgiving in terms of you can use your heavy ammo, you can use your super, you can use your nades, you can use your transcendence, you can use all the stuff you need to use and not have it for damage because the damage checks are a lot more lenient. So in this case, if I got detained here and I felt like I was going to die, I could just place my well if I think I'm about to get detained. Okay. So
You are 2.
So notice how I only shot after Bran also called. So obviously different people with different rotations in the Hydra rooms, they're going to call at different times. It's just a fact of life. You know, that's just going to happen. So make sure that you only shoot your eye once the other person has also shot so that you can both deal with the seekers at the same time and you're both ready. You're both kind of in the same, it's like a mental reset. It's like a tempo reset. Okay. So here it says Epoptes calls forth lenses, right? So that happens every time you both break a correct lens. And when that happens, look here, there's 1, there's always 3, right? 1, 2,
3, 4.
and 3. Just try to shoot them as they pop out of the sky here. If you're really, really concerned, you can try to dive behind cover and they'll often just, careen into a wall or something. But just be careful, right? Just be careful. Always try to shoot 3. Your teammate can try to help you as well. What I did here is I would always call out seekers every time we shot a pair of eyes. And then the middle floating person, right? So the person that's not doing mid mechanics, so not Aqua and Bran here. So on our team, that would be Ash and Gigs. What they would be doing is they would come into our rooms every time we had seekers or like a Cyclops. They would help team shot a little bit and then they would come out. So the people who are doing ad clear for the people doing mechs, your job is like very, very important. And if you ever let up, it's very easy for either people inside or outside to die. Okay. So here again, I'm calling out 2-5. My audio tracks are separated here. So just forgive me here. And I would say running a heal clip SMG is great. I tried a bunch of different stuff. I tried rocket sidearm, I tried glaive, I tried trace. Heal clip SMG was just the best, right? It was just the best for my specific role, especially because I don't really use a lot of energy ammo, like special ammo during damage. I use like an area denial. Some of my teammates, if you're on PKs, you're already running an SMG anyway, right? So, pretty good idea to run an SMG.
4.
I would say if I was you, don't put your warlock on this roll though. This is you definitely need to be like mechanically like paying attention and pretty on the ball to do these outer rolls on warlock, I would say, especially if you're playing well. Okay.
Come to you, Aqua. Come to you, Aqua.
Yeah, and I would say like in contest DP, like obviously people would have like accompanying people ad clear them in these rooms, but again, like the ad clearing in middle, the intensity is so high here that the combat intensity, both inside and outside, is very high. So the person who would normally be accompanying you in like a regular contest DP clear in like one of these side rooms is not going to be able to be there with you all the time. So you definitely want to just like dump your special, dump your SMG ammo, and between all of your actions, just make sure you're killing ads. Because if you ever need to like shoot ads and you're like a little bit worried and you're like focused on the ad, like you can easily get lasered down by harpies like very, very quickly. So just, you notice here, like between every action, I'm just like killing ads with like mint as much as I can. I'm gonna turn the volume here, sorry. Okay, so just like with regular Epoptes, once you break 4 eyes each, so once someone has shot the 4th eye successfully, you're gonna get the magistrates, you know, he's gonna call you to middle, and the mechanics for this part are actually the exact same as normal, right? So you'll see here, right, we break 3. I'm gonna skip past here a little bit because obviously we take a little bit of time. And then if you want to do 4-4, like 4-2, like 4 eyes and then do mid-max and then do 2, definitely shoot at the same time. So sync up your call here.
5.
Okay, cool. So that was the second call there. I'm just going to get my Seekers. And the reason why this can be pretty intense is because obviously you're shooting eyes. There's a bunch of Harpies that can spawn at the same time. You have Seekers, you have the Cyclops, right? So definitely you want one of your teammates to try and like peek in here and help you out a little bit. So I dive mine cover here, like whatever. And then here, it's just the same thing, right? You guys know how DP works normally. The people in the middle, they break the triangle of eyes. You know, I assume you know how to do DP normally. So this part, you just do it like normal DP. You break the triangle, right? Break the correct one of the triangle. Yeah. So Brandon calls left for me here. I break left. And now this is a moment where if you want to make special finishers, you want to gen super in case you accidentally use your super or something, function collapse suppressed. You need to identify moments like these in order to make ammo or whatever. Just take a little breather. So this is like the chill time that you have, right? You know, my team is literally saying like chill time, right? We can take a break a little bit here. Now there is an encounter timer, and eventually Epoptes will wipe you if you take too long, right? You get the function collapse imminent regardless. But as long as you're not like the biggest throw you can do here is shooting the wrong eye, both inside and outside. So you need to just take your time, even if you're slow, even if you have to wait for a full fucking like half rotation for the boss's shield to turn. Just wait. Make sure you're killing all your ads. Take your time, and as long as you're not missing eyes and breaking the wrong eyes, you should be okay. So again, here we go out. I make special. My teammate makes special. We're chilling.
Need some.
All right, cool.
Good whenever.
So we're getting on plates. And then now, a helpful tip, just like in regular DP, once you break the 5th eye, you can break the 6th one instantly. You don't need to do any of those mid-max or anything to identify the correct one, because obviously you know what the correct one is. These ads are so decent for me. They're like TPing everywhere. Okay.
Yes. 2-5.
God, I'm literally like chasing this guy's your shield around in a circle.
2.
So I call 3-6.
3.
So I wait for Brand to call 3. I know Aqua's call is 2. He's calls for me. 2, 6, middle. And then boom. And then these Seekers, I think they despawn. So there are Seekers that spawn behind you. They low-key just like run into a wall. So you can kind of ignore them, but you can shoot them if you want. I look behind to make sure I'm not getting trapped from behind. Here is where you have a lot of time during this part, by the way. So as long as you're 2 people with probabilistic Lancet, they're chilling. Just like run around, get ammo, whatever. Your teammate's making special. Just get as much mint as you need. Chill out. Also, for recommended loadouts, I would say Finality PK, I think is really good here. Main reason is your Finality turret can actually shoot the boss while you're in the outer rooms. And I'll explain what that means in a second, because yes, you do get teleported to the outer rooms during damage. But it's really good chip damage, good super gain. Don't really need to worry too much about ammo. And this encounter, I would say you're expending a lot of ammo with probably the least opportunity to generate it back, right? A lot of the people in the side rooms, they're not necessarily making a lot of ammo. Even the people in middle, they're more focused on killing the ads and living rather than making ammo. So you definitely want to pick weapons here that are more ammo efficient. Finality PK, it's almost impossible to run out of ammo here. So definitely I would suggest Finality PK for this specific encounter. I think we cleared with like a couple people on Parasite, but you know, we were obviously in a rush because it was during the race. But now that the race is practically over, for those of you who are just looking for the clear, I would just say Finality PK.
Fuck.
Okay, I break here. I'm Tractor Warlock, so I mean you could do what I do, up to you really. I know other people have Tractor on other roles or other classes. And then here, unlike regular DP, he doesn't choose 2 people immediately. You get to do like a 5-6 second damage phase right at the start, and then he's going to pull 2 people. When he pulls 2 people, right, if you notice you're getting pulled and you're on well or you're on Tractor, try to get that last Tractor, that last well off right before you leave, because your ass is not going to be back in the middle for a little bit. Okay, so for example, if I ever get pulled, I try to like jump up in Tractor and then I get TP'd. Okay, So here you'll notice the boss has 4 shields. The boss has 4 shields, and unlike regular DP, the boss is always damageable. The boss is always damageable, and so just peek through the shields. I'm pretty sure even with like super and like anti-barrier and stuff, you can't really like shoot through these shields. So just you have to kind of aim through the slits and just trying to get some damage going here. So like you'll see here, that's what I do. These Koregos eyes are in every encounter, right? So like during the triangle mechs, like the mid mechs, they appear in the side rooms. I'm not going to lie though, these lasers tickle. These lasers tickle. I would not even use resists to prioritize surviving against them because they do that little damage, okay? If you're in a well, you can tank them. If you're not in a well, you can probably still tank them. So just pay attention to where they are. If you're sitting in one for too long, maybe move out of the way a little bit, but they're really easy to survive. So I would not even run arc resists, maybe except for on your damage loadout, maybe. So yeah, here.
Good egg, 3k3.
So we're chilling. Kind of just killing some ads here. Okay, I'm going to skip to where I get chosen. Because, you know, the rest of the mechanics here, you're going to have to see it from the person who actually gets chosen to understand what's going on. But as usual, it's going to be 3 pairs of people, right? Once you crack all the lenses, which I'll explain in a second here, you get a little bit of an extended damage phase here. Pretty cool stuff. Also, I'm pretty sure during every single damage phase in this raid, the boss occasionally spits out Seekers and tries to detain you. If that happens, it's fine. Your teammates will get you out. It's whatever. But just be aware that that's like a thing that can happen. I almost just fell off the map. Okay, so me and K3 just got chosen, right? So
It's me, no warlocks.
yeah, so we have no warlocks for a little bit. And so we tell our teammates to be careful. When you first go in here, there's going to be some ads. So the first people that come in here, the ads never respawn. So try to kill the ads with SMG or like whatever. Just dump a little bit of mint or some shit. Also, these rooms, they're the same rooms that you were just in, right? So there's still going to be special ammo and heavy ammo littered around the room. If people are making finishers in the side rooms, it's a great opportunity to go and just pick up some mint. Okay, so
No warlocks.
cool shit. My teammates have already killed all the ads in this room, so I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And now I just wait,
Carefully.
right? I sit in these eyes here. I'm chilling,
9 seconds
and
on
we
wall.
just break the
7,
eyes, right? We just
6,
break the eyes.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Boom.
1.
There we go. And now,
out. Well-
as soon as you break all of your eyes, you get teleported back to that main area where you're going to see 4 shields, right? And just like in actual like DP, well, there's no 4 shields in actual DP, but half the shields are going to be yours, right? And they're going to be next to each other. They're next to each other, right? So you'll see that one's mine, that one's not mine, which means that one has to be mine. So I'm going for these 2. So what do I do here? I come out. I realize which 2 are mine. I tractor. I dash through. I place my well because I'm about to die, and also my teammates are on the well right now. I think I calm that I'm going to place my well there, and I slide. I break my 2,
Damage.
and it's damage. Okay, and I fucking solar into my well.
Seekers.
Awesome.
Cooking.
So if you run finality PK and your teammates are not like completely selling the bag here, it should be a 2-phase. Every single boss in this raid is like easily 2-phaseable, right? And you have 3 phases. So like I mentioned, damage checks way easier than last time.
Mine.
Okay, this is basically it. I mean, the second phase is the exact same. Okay, so I hope that clears things up for Hydra. I hope that makes sense. I don't think I really left anything to the imagination there. Pretty straightforward. Okay, let's go to Wyvern next. Wyvern is probably the one that I remember the least, but it is the shortest encounter, and I would say arguably the easiest encounter. Arguably the easiest encounter of the 3, which it kind of was on day 1 too. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So unlike regular DP, there is not a bunch of Minotaurs that spawn in the middle. Also, if you happen to be wanting to use a shield matching glaive for shield break charge or just for quality of life, your energy weapon, you want to match shields, I believe the Minotaurs in Hydra, I think, are void shielded. The Minotaurs in Wyvern are arc shielded. So notice I have an arc rocket sidearm here. And then the Minotaurs in Hobgoblin are solar shielded. So, you know, just to mix things up, they're different shields. Okay. They're not all void. And in Final Encounter, they're all void. So hope that helps. Okay. Because I know I recommended shield break charge to people. It's pretty nice. And as you can see here, boom, instantly 3 armor charge. Great stuff. We love shield break charge, right? Okay, so at the start here, here's what happens. Okay, there's gonna be 2 Minotaurs that spawn at every zone. So this is, we can call it the bottom zone. There's a middle zone. There's a top zone. This bottom zone here, we notice that there's white chronons. There's white chronons that drop. Okay. Chat, I have a question for you, chat. Okay. I'm recording this live also. So, but chat, is it red, blue, white from bottom to top? Red, blue, white. Just making sure. It's red, blue, white, right? from bottom to top? I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm like 95. It's red, white, blue. Oh, balls. Oh, balls. Okay, I seem to have spread some misinformation. It's red, white, blue. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and keep going. So something to note is that the Minotaurs will always spawn in the same place, but it's randomized at the start. So for this specific, encounter, we're going to have a white Minotaurs spawn at the bottom area. And then we might have blue Minotaurs spawn at the spawn area. And then red Minotaurs spawn up here. Okay, so every time you wipe, it'll be different. And so whoever you have assigned to, grabbing Minotaurs and Chronons and whatever and like dunking them, just have them like keep that in mind of like where the Minotaurs are that drop certain Chronons. Okay, so that can be pretty helpful. The way we split our team is you have 3 people responsible for shooting the pillars, right? You have 2 people responsible for helping each other with the cube pickups as they go up the climb. So one person is going to be mainly picking up the cubes. The other person is just there to support them and kill the imps and stuff like that. I will say, compared to contest, it is a lot easier to survive as a climber. So if you want to have 2 people running around and assisting with ad clear and like dunking stuff, that's fine too. Okay. So we had a preset 3 that were shooting pillars because we did this in practice. So what I did, I was not really on mechs here. I was just running around and picking up Chronons and dunking them. Okay. So at the start here, split into 3 teams of 2. One person in each area should be the person that you have assigned to shooting a specific pillar at the start. Okay. So Bran here, he's responsible for shooting the left pillar at the start. Okay. So now there's also these white pools of light scattered all around the arena. Okay. And something you should know about these is that these are one-time use. These are one-time use, and they will tell you what the hoop currently wants. So you might have noticed that I just said what the hoop currently wants. Right. In normal DP, it always wants red. In epic DP, it wants a different color every time you dunk. It's just like Koregos. It's like mini Koregos mechanics. Okay. So you'll notice here, I grabbed Temporal Oculus, which lasts 10 seconds here. I'm going to go ahead and look at the hoop, and you'll see, it wants white first. Okay. So I signal to Brad, yo, we both picked up a Chronon. And as soon as you both pick up Chronons, these Minotaurs respawn really fast. Okay. So we both pick up a Chronon, right? We're kind of just chilling. Maybe he wants to kill some ads or something. I'm not really sure what's going on in the comms. And maybe I'll unmute it. Sorry. Okay. So let's just skip past here a little bit. Oh, he calls white, but I already knew it was white. Okay. I don't know. So I jump through here with Bran, right? You don't want to like use these pools too much, right? Like you want to use, at least have one to spare. At least have one to spare. So you can call the second color, right? So me and Bran, we're going through. We could do 2 dunks. In theory, maybe you could actually just use respawning Minotaurs and dunk 6 at a time here. I don't know, but it really wouldn't like help your encounter that much, to be honest. So just dunk normally. Just dunk normally.
You got buffer next.
Okay. So now,
You have to.
yeah, Gigs is signaling that I should call, but we took a little too long, so I didn't see the new call. Okay, so another call is being made by someone else right now in just a second.
No buff over here.
I'm coming back to the right side. Right.
So yeah, we're just picking up these extra Chronons because why not, right?
Okay.
If you guys don't know, in a normal DP mechanic, I know some people don't know this. If you have like a blue Chronon and you walk over to a red Chronon, you can pick it up. It'll override it, right? It'll just completely ignore what you had originally. Obviously, if you have blue Chronon, you can't pick up another one. But just so you know, you can pick up the wrong color Chronon if you want, because you can always fix it later.
It is blue.
Okay, so K3 says blue. So in your head right now, you should be thinking white, blue, and then it has to be red. Okay, and the way that this encounter works is that the dunk order of that hoop is always the same. It goes in a cycle. Okay, so if it goes white, blue, red, it's gonna go white, blue, red over and over and over. Okay.
Blue.
So what I was doing in chat here, right, which you don't have to do, it's kind of extra, but what I was doing in chat here is I would type where the Minotaurs are spawning for my own reference. So maybe the last encounter that we did, it was WBR, which means white Minotaurs spawn at the bottom, blue Minotaurs spawn at spawn, so like the middle area, and red Minotaurs spawn at the top. And then I would also write BWR, which would tell me the dunk order. Okay.
Go.
So it would be blue, white, red. So here you'll see I typed WBR.
It's fine.
Or maybe I need to confirm it or something.
Go.
Yeah, there we go. So in this particular instance, we got good RNG, right? It's easier for me to remember. White, blue, red, white, blue, red. Dunk white first, dunk blue, red, dunk red second. So after they dunk the 2 reds here, then I need to go look for a white, but I already have white, so we're good. Okay. Okay, so now the hourglass is full. Now here comes the fun part, okay? They made these mechs a lot more complicated than normal Wyvern, right? The way that it works is like this. Give us a second. Give us a second. So everybody is getting on plates now. So the 3 people that you have shooting the pillars, they should all get on plate. Bran He's just getting on this plate, and then he's going to go to that pillar. There's a plate in the
Okay.
middle area. The middle area, that person is going to be shooting the spawn pillar, and the plate all the way at the top, right, where you guys are probably familiar with where the plates are because they're a normal DP2. The plate at the top, that guy is going to shoot the right pillar. Okay, I hope everyone knows where all these pillars are, so I don't have to like play the video and show you where they are. But there's one on the left in the red area. There's one at spawn, closer to flag, and then there's one on the right. Okay,
I'm searching.
so K3 shoots the diamond here.
Okay.
And right, at the very start, right, all three of the players that got onto these plates are going to have a different type of buff. Okay, they're going to have absolute, cyclical, or they're going to have constant, just like during Koregos, right? So every plate will give a different buff. I'm not sure if it's randomized at the very start. I'm not sure if it's like a different buff every single time, but I know that when you start, at least you get one of each buff. Okay, so if you take a look here, I believe it's the same buff every time, but just make sure. Okay,
Red,
So-
white, blue.
K3 calls blue, red, white here. Okay, so on K3's screen, actually, I can't really show you right now, but where the pillar is for climbing is random, right? Where the pillar is for climbing is random. And when you first shoot the diamond, you'll be able to locate it because there will be these little jars, these little lanterns filled with chronons. They have one chronon each. And there's going to be 3 of them by wherever the climb is. Okay, so I'll try to show you that in a second here. Right, so you'll notice K3 and Ash, they're both in the climb area. You see these little jars? That's what I'm talking about, right? So he said blue, white, red. So that's a blue chronon. That's a white one. And presumably the red one is hidden from us, obscured from view. But rest assured, there is a red chronon. Okay, so blue, white, red. Okay, so he calls out blue, white, red. And the system that we had is Bran would shoot the first call that K3 made, blue. And I believe it was Aqua would shoot the second call. So Aqua would shoot white equivalent. And Giggs would shoot red equivalent. Okay, and the way that it works, right, is red corresponds to the bottom, white corresponds to the middle cube, and blue corresponds to the top cube. So if K3 calls, I don't know, white, blue, red. Let's say he calls white, blue, red. Bran, who is responsible for shooting this far left pillar, he is shooting white. White is middle, so he shoots the middle box. Okay, so it's not bottom box, middle box, top box. Okay, it is you shoot the box that is called for you, and all of these different people are responsible for shooting specific pillars, and they have to shoot. I don't think the order matters. Like, I don't think specific people shooting specific, like Bran has to shoot top box, for example, right? I think it is just, you just need to match the distribution. You understand? You just need to match the distribution. Okay? So on top of this, the kicker for this encounter is every time you successfully complete a climb, you'll notice that the pillars also have colors on them. Okay, they also have colors. Each platform, which there's 3 of them, the final one having the cube, each one of them has a lantern on it. It has a lantern on it. So K3 is then going to make a new call. Okay, so listen to him right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
cyclical.
Absolute.
White, blue.
And
I heard, yes.
Wait. Skip this one. Wait.
what was his third call? I actually didn't hear
Get
it.
this one, okay.
Okay, white, blue, blue. White.
Okay, there you go. White, blue, blue. White, blue, blue. So that's the distribution you need to match. So one person needs to shoot white, aka middle box, and the other 2 people need to shoot blue, aka top box. Okay. Now, the problem here is that every time you shoot a box, there's a chance the game just changes your buff. Okay. And there's also a chance that 2 people actually end up with the same buff. Okay, so we tried reapplying buffs, right? Just having the people go back on their plates so they get their original buffs and make their lives easier. Unfortunately, the plates don't give you buff after a certain amount of time. So in theory, you could have 2 people get each buff and then you wouldn't have to deal with this problem and blah, 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 blah. But the easiest way to do this, if you just want to keep people isolated into their specific roles so other people can focus on other stuff, just have it so that if 2 people have the same buff and let's say, you have red, blue, just ensure that the 2 people shooting the same pillar do not shoot red. Because obviously you don't want to shoot one person shoots the bottom box and then one person also shoots the bottom box. Then you only have 2 boxes broken together, right? So what you want to do is, let's say it's red, blue, and you have 2 people that have the same buff. Ensure that one person is shooting a red and one person is shooting a blue. So they're shooting the same pillar, but one person is shooting the top box and one person is shooting the bottom box. Okay? So that's it. You just do this a couple more times
White,
and
blue,
you're chilling.
blue.
Okay? You just do this a couple more times and you're chilling. So additionally, you may be wondering, how do you know which pillar corresponds to which buff? Well, I typed it in chat earlier in Fireteam chat. You can see. Just remember this. Left constant, spawn absolute, right cyclical. Okay, so let's say you're shooting left pillar and you start with constant. So I'm assuming this, since this was working the first try every time, I'm assuming the play buffs are fixed. So the bottom one probably gives you constant, and the middle one probably gives you absolute, and the top one probably gives you cyclical. Okay, so get on the plates. You're gonna have constant. Let's say you're Bran, right? So you got on the plate, you got constant. You're shooting the left pillar, right? And then after it changes to cyclical. So what do? Then you just move and you start shooting right pillar. So key in this encounter, just like in regular DP during contest DP, is do not shoot the cubes unless everyone is ready. Okay, that is very important. It is extremely costly and drains the hourglass a lot if you dissipate. However, if you just wait an extra round, it barely drains the hourglass. So just take your time and don't break unless everyone is ready. Okay, this is a bit of a mindfucking counter, right? You kind of have to keep track of multiple things. You're like, oh, what does my buff translate to? You're doing some mental translation during this encounter. There's like 2 layers of translation you have to do. But you have to do the colors into what box you're shooting, and you have to do your buff into what pillar you're shooting. But once you have that handled, or someone can keep track of it, or write it in chat, you have a lot of time. Okay? So,
Blue.
banner is cyclical, mid is constant, and left is absolute. I don't know. Listen, guys, I might have the buff orders wrong. This was just given to us by our scouts, like, very early on into this encounter. So, I might be wrong, okay? I might even be wrong about the climb thing, okay? Someone in the comments can correct me. Listen, correct me in the comments if I said like one of the orders wrong. I'm just giving you the core mechanics, okay? If I'm wrong, leave it in the comments. I'll make a pinned comment and just if you're watching this, just read the pinned comment, okay? If there's any corrections that need to be made, okay? Okay, never mind. Apparently I'm correct. Okay. Let's keep going. So, this is super chill, right? We're just dunking Chronons, right? We can dunk Chronons. It's chill.
Blue on this one.
Right? And you'll notice we've like filled up our hourglass nice and full again. Sorry, what am I saying, bro? Sorry, I actually skipped backwards into this encounter. So what I said here is like I was screaming at my teammates. I was like, yo,
White, blue.
these Minotaurs have what we need. Someone come to
I'm gonna
me.
shoot on this one.
Let's grab this. Oh, another thing you should know, by the way, that I totally forgot. This exists in the rest of the raid as well. Diastole, if you don't jump on that 4th pulse and you get hit by the boop, it suspends you. And when you're suspended, you can't use any abilities. So that shit sucks, okay? So just get used to jumping on the 4th pulse. In some encounters, it doesn't really matter. Like in this encounter, if you're not like in front of the boss, it doesn't really matter. But in some encounters, it will fuck you if you don't jump, okay? So just remember that.
Okay.
So here, notice how it's white, blue, red. It's white, blue, red.
I can start damage.
I have no idea where damage is going to be.
I'm like 1 HP here.
It's
I kind of trolled here.
top. Okay, I'm starting. It's top.
Damage all that.
Damage.
Okay, cool. Also, I think some people were saying that you need to dunk during damage. You don't. You don't need to dunk during damage. It's just like normal DP. The phase, I'm pretty sure, is the same length as well. So as long as you have a decent amount of hourglass going into the mechanics phase, like you haven't dissipated multiple times, you can top it off if you want, because it's fairly easy for 1 or 2 people to like keep track of what needs to be dunked next. You can top it off if you want. You're chilling. Also, another thing you should know, we tested this, is the cycle. Even though the pools don't respawn, the cycle starts anew at the end of damage. So let's say it's white into blue into red, right? That's your cycle. And let's say you dunk white, you dunk blue, you dunk red, and then you top it off with a white and you top it off with a blue. You think it's a red after damage? No, it starts at white again. So just remember that. Okay?
Damage on top.
Okay. As for damage, I would say Parasite Mint is fire here. Just Parasite Mint, totally fine. Rockets, too risky in my opinion. PK Finality, I mean, you could probably clear with PK Finality to be honest with you, but it's pretty easy to maintain ammo here. You're probably not even going to run out of your Parasite. So just Parasite Mint I think is fine.
Well.
I would probably recommend that. Don't place your well when you're getting suspended.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I failed to place my well like 3 times here. I'm like so confused. Yep, still haven't placed my well. Oh, by the way, I think we cleared this encounter first try after we like started understanding the mechanics, which is why this is a lot more scuffed compared to like the Hydra execution, but you know. Yeah. So don't be a noob like me and get suspended repeatedly, you know. Just jump. Also, another thing you should know is don't try to jump on tempo with the 4th pulse. Just jump at 3. Just jump when it hits 3 and like hold jump and you'll be fine. Right? It's very unforgiving on the go up, right? But it's very forgiving on the way down, right? If you're even a little bit on the ground going down, you won't get suspended. Holy, this guy's a noob, bro. Look how much he's getting suspended. What a noob.
I'm suspended in the back. What is suspending me?
Are you serious? Bro, what?
Okay, I think when Gig said suspended, by the way, I think he meant that he got detained in the back end. Like, no one saw him, so he, like, got shot to death.
It was different suspend.
No, not
It
suspending. I was
was
like,
different
Yeah,
suspend.
he meant detained.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can see how just royally fucked this damage phase is. Like, everyone's getting suspended. Giggs is dying, blah, 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 blah. And we still 50%, right? Still 50%. So, you know, just all I'm saying, damage checks here, super chill. Just chill out, relax, focus on the max. Focus on the max. Okay, that's it for Wyvern. There's nothing really more to talk about with Wyvern. Just like, you know, just keep doing the max. That's it. Phase 2. All right, cool. Let's talk about Hobgoblin. Okay, Hobgoblin was also quite easy. I think Hydra is the sore thumb out of the three of these. I know my team played the worst on Hydra, but I also do think in my head, Hydra has the worst combat difficulty and the worst kind of juggling of mechs that you have to do compared to the other encounters. Like this encounter in particular, they gave a massive buff to the temporality duration, so you have a lot of time before you run out of time when it comes to dunking here. So this encounter, mechanics are actually fairly straightforward. They're very similar to the OG, and I'll just explain it real quick, okay? So let me just skip past here a little bit. Okay, so at the very, very start of the encounter, you may notice a couple changes. So the first thing you may notice is, let me go back here a little bit. Okay, every single portal has a canister next to it, lantern, whatever you want to call it. Is it a capsule? Is there an official Bungie name for it? Who knows? I'm going to call it a pill. Pill? No, I'll say capsule. I'll say capsule. Okay. Every single portal has a capsule next to it. Okay. And it's empty. You can't see it right now. Right. But know that during the encounter, you will do certain things to reveal what needs to be dunked in each of these portals. Okay. So the portals are picky. They're picky for both the 5 dunk phase and the 4 dunk phase. If you do normal DP, you know what I'm talking about. 5 dunk phase, you got to turn on the portals, Wyvern spawn. And then after that, you got to do the 4 dunk to turn on the portals again and activate them for the ring acceleration thing, whatever. And then someone can run through. Okay, so these calls will not change between the 5 and the 4 dunk phase. You just need to have one call per phase. One call per phase. So for example, you see in chat here, WRBRW. That means dunk white here, dunk red here, dunk blue here, dunk red here, and dunk white here. Okay, understand? So that's how that works. So how do you actually get these calls? Because they're obviously blank right now.
His copy literally.
Well. Let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? So at the start of the encounter, you may notice this nice, beautiful ring spawns in here, just the same one from Wyvern, okay? Now, this ring is a little different from Wyvern. It's not picky. You can dunk whatever you want in here, okay? However, what you dunk in here will change what you can read. So if you dunk a white Chronon into the hoop, it will tell you what portals need white, and et cetera, okay? Also, when you dunk a Chronon into this ring, it will only tell you for about 5 seconds, okay? So everybody in the encounter will be able to see where the whites are, but it'll be for a very limited time. Okay, it's about a couple seconds until the ring goes blank again. When the ring goes blank, the vision is gone. Okay, so what you do now is very simple. Have 2 preset people that will go and pick up a Minotaur. Okay, and I was the preset first dunker, so you'll be able to see this in my POV here. Let's go ahead and see what I do. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, by the way, right, if you want Hydras to spawn faster in this encounter to get more Minotaurs, you need to kill ads. You need to kill ads. Killing the majority of the ads in the encounter will spawn a Hydra faster, which will then make you less likely to run into impatience from the boss. It will just make your whole encounter easier. So just make sure ad clear is good. And this is the type of encounter where you can make so much special ammo. You can make so much special ammo. So dump your mint, dump your rocket sidearms, dump your glaive, whatever you're using, just dump it, okay, into these ads to make sure that Hydra spawns faster, and dump your shit into the Hydra too. Okay, so we're killing all the ads here. I'm getting some ores for special finishers, whatever. Again, everyone should be on special finisher, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Keep going. And once these ads die here, you'll see Hydra spawned in. Okay, so Hydra will spawn in for our first minnows. Obviously, we need to get our call out first. So as soon as, I mean, dude, bro, the Hydra, I mean, come on now. I mean, I think you guys remember how much ammo it was needed to kill the Banes on 5 feet back when it was like minus 40 and stuff, right? These guys are a joke. They die in like 2 pulse bursts from like 3 people. So yeah. So now I'm the dedicated first dunker, right? So I just dunk here. It doesn't matter what color the first dunk is, obviously, right? Because you just want a call out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab white. And I'm telling my team, yo, I'm going to grab white in a bit. Make sure you're watching, right? So obviously, naturally, your team will be distributed throughout the encounter. So they'll be able to see the canisters on the outside of all these portals. But obviously, one person can't see all of them. So just make sure your teammates know when you're going to dunk so they don't lose and, you know, read outside the vision window, right? So here, I'm going to jump through. Bang. Nice little glow effect. And I'm going to hop out and I'll see, bang, there you go. See what I'm talking about? That's 3. So we know white is 3, and I'm listening for my teammates' calls to know what the others should be. So let's go ahead and turn on the audio. Let's listen to my teammates' calls.
Time to grab Hama in case if you want to face.
Third,
4,
3,
3, 4.
There you go. 4 and 3. So as the comm guy, the write the stuff in chat guy, what do? I write XXWWX to indicate that 3 and 4 are known white, and 1, 2, and 5 are unknown X's, right?
Four.
So you'll see here,
Putting a red in.
I got 4.
I get a heal clip
I got
proc,
4.
X, X,
I
W,
got-
W, X. I type an extra X at the end there, but I know what I'm talking about, so I just leave it there. My teammates are currently killing the next Hydra, which will now
Put
spawn
it
us more
into-
Minotaurs. And so obviously now you need to actually dunk the correct stuff in the portals, right? So at this point, anybody can dunk, right? Anybody can dunk. With a nice spot, you can see 4 out of 5 at once. Yeah, I'm sure there's some spot high up that you can see a 4 out of 5 at once. But just, you know, everybody's looking at the portals anyway. Just there's nothing better to do at this time. Just have people call out. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Just 2.
That's
Somebody,
it.
was
That's it.
it 5? That's the only one.
No, 5 was not. I checked.
Okay, it's just 2.
That's
Okay. So you can see here. Okay. So notice process of elimination, right? We just got a red Chronon dunked in the ring. K3 is the dedicated second dunker. Obviously, if he has the same color as me, then someone else would take over. But he's a dedicated second dunker. He dunks in a red into the ring. They call it's just 2. So process of elimination. We'll use our brains here. 1 and 5 have to be blue. 1 and 5 have to be blue. I write the call in chat. We're chilling. That's the first part of the encounter done.
Oh my god.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're chilling. And now,
And blue.
so something important to know is that you might notice, whoa, there are canisters on top of the Alliance where the Minotaurs are spawning. That's a good observation. So, unfortunately, during this encounter, you may encounter a problem where the canisters do not contain the Chronons that you actually want. Thankfully, every time you dunk a Chronon into the middle ring, it refreshes the type of Minotaur that spawns from this door. So, blue Chronon in this canister means that this Minotaur will drop a blue. Okay. Now, let's say you have only blues and whites. It goes blue, blue, white, white, blue on the canisters that are all around the map. Okay. Let's say that happens. What are you going to do? Well, you can just dunk and this will change to like a red or a white or something else. And then the next Minotaur you kill from here will drop whatever the canister says. Okay. So let's say, the 4 that you need are RWWB and you don't have any red. You could just simply dunk in white, white, blue, get a refresh, kill the Hydra, and then boom, there's going to be a red drop. Okay.
And
So-
white. We need 2 blue and white.
Pretty straightforward. I grab this blue here, right? But at some point, I'm going to be getting plate. So we're chilling. Oh, we haven't actually even finished dunking the 5. So, excuse me. Well, once we finish dunking the 5, we'll talk.
Blue.
I can
Okay.
get a white.
So, K3, he's going to dunk in 5. I'm going to dunk in 1. As you can see, those are the bookends here.
Wait.
So, I'm dunking.
All right, we're good. I'm
And
gonna hold
just
on
like in regular DP, as soon as you dunk all
to a
5,
white though.
3.
you get
Any
wyverns.
blues?
Right? So, someone is needing to dunk a white in
Holding 5.
and 3 here. Aqua's about to do that. And unlike regular DP, where there's 3 wyverns, there are 4. There are 4 wyverns here out of the 5. However, these wyverns are a complete joke. If you're on tractor, you could just do what I do here.
Now.
And apparently I didn't get a wyvern here. I was a lucky guy here. But normally what I do is I sit behind the wyvern spawn, I tractor him, and because tractor applies suppress and he's not a bane, he's not an actual boss, he just sits there and takes it. So yeah, you can crash your wyvern if you really want to, but I don't know, just use rocket pulse to be honest, and just like takes like 4 shots or something with a buff. Just kill him. Just be aware that the wyverns are spawning. You know, obviously, like if you're the guy dunking last, just let your teammates know. But if they have eyes and ears, they should be able to see that the wyverns are spawning. So you can see here. I mean, this guy just look at him,
Hydra?
dead, right?
People.
Okay. So yeah, just keep killing Hydras, keep killing ads, keep recycling those Minotaurs, making sure that your dunkers have enough stuff. We had a system on our team where I think like one person would dunk the highest and the lowest value, and then one person would dunk like the second lowest value, and one person would dunk like the third lowest value. So for example, if we need RWWB because the call is 1, like 1 is the odd one out, one person would dunk R and B, one person would dunk W, one person would dunk W. Hopefully that makes sense. I think people understand this from regular DP, but I'm just reiterating just in case you don't do that. Okay. So, because obviously you have 3 dunkers and four rings, right? So I'm helping my teammates out a little bit here. And, yep. Shield break charge, my goat. Okay. Just hanging out.
We will need to shuffle.
So I picked up an extra Chronon here, despite the fact that the portals are done and I don't really need to do anything, right? So I picked up an extra Chronon here in case, because there's nothing wrong with picking up an extra Chronon. You can always overwrite it later, right? It's not a bad thing at all. So I pick up an extra Chronon here because just in case my teammates need me to refresh the ring and get them new Minotaurs with different colors. Okay, so that's something that you, as a play person, can do in case that's needed. Okay?
Okay.
So
I can.
we're chilling. I think at this point, somewhere around now, we're probably going to get on plates. Okay, I think my teammates have asked me for a refresh here, so that's why I'm doing this. So you'll see here, boom, they all flashed yellow, refreshing, 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 and that's white now, right? That's red now.
Full plates now, I think.
Okay, so notice This is one of the reasons why the encounter is pretty easy. That timer is very long. Okay. But once you get on the plates, you have two options, right? Some people, what they do, they're impatient, they're speedrunners, whatever. They will have someone force, right? So because you have a lot of time, I think he grows impatient like way like slower than he does in normal, right? So what we did is left leg guy would force first, I would force second, and then Aqua would force third. Okay, so K3, he has, I'm actually not even sure what that plate has. It's cyclical or constant, not what I have, okay? So let's say he has cyclical, right? Hopefully I'm right. Let's say he has cyclical. He's going to look for the Hobgoblin that has cyclical name, right? And he's going to go dunk in there, right? So for those of you that don't know, in normal DP, okay, I was right, left is cyclical. Nice, W guess. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, in normal DP, you can also do this. It's called force aligning. And before the boss grows impatient and starts lasering you, you can have someone just dunk on any of the bosses as long as it's the boss that matches the buff that you have. So let's say this guy is cyclical right here. Then K3, we've assigned him to do first force align. He's going to go and dunk on that guy.
Yeah. Right now we have
so,
Waiting for us, waiting for
Okay, so also another thing that you should know is that there's actually 4 copies of the boss in this encounter. One of them has no name and 3 of them have absolute cyclical or constant name. The one that has no name is the one that you're going to be damaging during damage, but just know, I guess there's like an extra boss that you shouldn't dunk on and that is sniping you during the encounter. Not really consequential. I mean, the snipes of these bosses, like when they shoot you, is like, if you've done 5 feet DP before, it's like the exact same. So you're not going to die.
One red and then shuffle.
Yeah, we need a Hydra then.
Okay, so my teammates are coming. We need a Hydra. Just make sure you're recycling Hydras over and over, right? So that you are constantly getting an influx of new Chronons.
I can shuffle if you need.
No, I think.
Oh, did you pick up that?
No, I need Hydra.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of downtime in this encounter. You can kind of just chill, honestly.
Shoulder align. Shoulder align.
One thing I will say though is if your team is slower than mine is when it comes to ad clear and refreshing and turning on portals, etc., maybe don't risk the force line, because there's a thing that can happen where if you force a line as the boss gets angry and starts lasering you, you can have 2 bosses lasering you at the same time, and then one person is not going to be able to see any portals. I think 2 people are actually not going to be able to see any portals. So then you kind of have to guess the portals. So you don't want that. If your team is slow, just let the boss laser you. IMO.
Aligned.
I mean, they're Minotaurs up.
Yeah, but none of them are
I'm
red.
aligning.
There's no Minotaur.
Okay, so K3 just force aligned, right? And now I'm going to give my call, right? Same as normal DP. So I say 3-4.
1.
Lose on me.
Alquist is 1-5. I immediately type 2 in chat. You guys should do this. Immediately type 2 in chat. Just have someone. 1-5-3-4. Boom. Just type the 2 in chat. And then I say audibly out loud. You can't hear because my mic track is on a separate track. You know what I mean? Okay. So I say audibly out loud. We need blue, white, white, blue. We need BWWB. Blue, white, white, blue. 1, 3, 4, 5. My teammates, they know who is dunking on what, right? I think actually what we started doing, by the way, is we had our 3 dunkers specifically pre-store colors, okay? So Ash would store like blue and Bran would store white or Giggs would store red, okay? So that way, no matter what happens, we have at least one of each color and like we're kind of prepped for any scenario, if that makes sense, okay? So that might be a good idea for your team to do as well. Just have specific people pick up specific Chronons ahead of time before you need to do the 4 dunk section so that it becomes a little bit smoother. Okay? So
we don't need red. We don't need red.
yeah, so we need blue, white, white, blue.
I got 3. I got 3.
Okay, so 3 is crossed off the list. We need blue, white, blue, 1, 4, 5.
Well, would you like me to chop it
I
over?
can get 4.
Blue and 5, no.
Okay, so someone just said they're getting 4. So 1 and 5. We need 2 blues.
I got 5 just now.
Okay. Wait. Forgot.
We need a 1.
I got 5.
Okay, I'm gonna skip over this. Just they're dunking. Okay, like I think you guys know how that works. Okay.
We are good.
Okay, so now we're good. This phase is a lot longer compared to normal boss. Okay, so normal Hobgoblin, he takes like 10-15 seconds to TP down from like wherever he's going, right? Here you have a lot more time, so you can like get finishers, whatever, do whatever you want. But obviously when you see the line in chat, like he's loses track of variables, just be aware that he's gonna come down in like a little bit. Okay, so chilling. My teammates are making special finishers, so I'm willing to dump my mint ammo. My precious mint ammo for damage here. Make sure you're watching a laser timer, of course.
You can bait.
I would say the changes Bungie made to the laser timer being like way more responsive, they result in a little bit of false positives when it comes to beaming, right? Like your beam can accidentally get cut off by something just real quick. But I do like it. It is nice to err on the side of caution here and just like be able to peek in and cover like really quickly and just like lose your timer. So yeah, that's really good, really helpful here.
7, 6, 9, 8.
So I'm just picking up a Chronon for next phase, so I could just dunk it in the ring right away.
7, 6.
Again, there's no reason to not pick up a Chronon if you see it, unless one of your teammates needs it. Nothing wrong with it.
5,
Doesn't do
4,
anything bad.
3, 2, 1.
Again, spamming special finishers all the time. Blah blah blah. Shield break charge, so I can armor charge for
Try to
my
do phase
damage
here.
loadout.
Do fine.
I don't know the charge.
Okay, and now let's talk about boss
Alright,
damage,
you
which is we're gonna talk about boss damage. We're gonna talk about final, and then that's it. Okay.
To keep our
So-
tempo up.
That's the only two things that are different. So once we start damage here,
Not a,
oh my god, this happened during our clear. Okay, don't do what I did. I swapped to the wrong loadout. Let's just skip this phase. Okay, let's just. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'll crucify myself here. Okay, you can watch what happens. It's fine. I'll let you guys do it. You know what? I'm in a good mood today. I'll let you guys see what happened. Okay, so first of all, don't do what I did. Okay, don't swap to the don't swap to the wrong loadout. Okay, listen, cut the tapes. Cut the tapes. Okay, listen. Anyways, listen. If there is anything that this tells you about this contest race, it's that you can swap to the wrong loadout and be 0-0-0 and be shooting a sniper range boss with an SMG and still clear on that attempt. Okay, and I'm the tractor guy, by the way, so my teammates don't have a debuff. They don't have a debuff for like almost this entire phase. Okay, that's how free the damage is. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and let's keep going here, shall we?
Let's
So
run.
there's diastole during this phase. I will say, if you're the if you're the ring runner during the mechanics here, you need to not get suspended. I think it's very obvious why, but please pay attention to diastole. Like, put someone who is awake on this roll. So I'm being very careful here. When I know it's 3, I take my time. I do a little glide. Right? I'm doing the walk of shame right now. The 0-0-0, no abilities, broke, no money, no hose, like walk of shame.
On.
Okay, noob. It's okay. I went pretty early though, because I obviously wasn't doing damage.
8, 7, 6, 5.
Also, during and before damage, fanatics will spawn between every portal. So just be aware of that. Like, if you have a well, you're not gonna die, but just like be aware of that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, the worst is if you get suspended like right before you want to bubble your teammates, because suspending removes your abilities, and the detain bubble is a grenade ability. So don't get suspended. Also, I would suggest being on Curus here so that your Thunder Crash gets a lot of value on the ground, because once the boss goes up into the sky, obviously you can't do a Thunder Crash up there. Okay. Honestly, the damage meta for this specific boss is kind of undecided. We were using like Whirling Ovation, I think, and Mint. I don't know. Like, just use some form of ranged weapon. Something that you don't mind having to jump for, I guess. So I don't know. Like, you could probably clear this with Queenbreaker. You could probably clear this with Darcy Sniper. You could probably clear this with Whirling. The damage is really light here. It's really, really chill. Okay. So just, I don't know, use something that's ranged. Don't use Parasite, obviously, because, he's very far away. But at the start, obviously, you can feel free to wail on him with your T-Crash and blah, blah, blah. Most of your damage is going to be right at the start, because that's your burst supers and he's on the ground. A lot of teams were not prepared to do long range damage going into this day 1, and that's going to going to be quite apparent during the next mechanics phase. Okay, let's keep going here. And yeah.
Wells and then
It's the same thing.
here.
You just have to do, 2 rings, two ring runs, right?
I'm trying to heal you guys, but
And boom.
7, 6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4.
3, 2, 1.
I low-key blew up that Fnatic on Ashe, and if she died, I would have been sad. I'm sorry, Ashe.
I will have well for this.
Okay, so, oh, by the way, one more thing I totally forgot. The boss, after he comes down, he's going to TP up, and you're looking for the boss that doesn't have a name, right? So you have Cyclical, blah, blah, blah. One of them is not going to have a name, the 4th boss. That's the boss you got to shoot. If you have him marked with like Senno or something, or if you have him debuffed, it's pretty obvious. Also, when you see him TP, the orange silhouette he leaves when he like phases goes in the direction of wherever he's TPing. So just like have someone pay attention to that, and then call out bottom left, top left, whatever, and just shoot the boss. Okay. So I'm gonna skip past this. Second phase of mechs is the exact same as the first phase of mechs. Wow, big whoopee, surprise. Let's move on. So I think we 3-phase here. 3-phasing is probably safe, right? Just so you can like save your T crashes for final. Because final is I don't know if it's tight, but I don't actually know if it's tight or not. But like the mechs are like a little weird, a little chaotic. Okay, so let's go ahead. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna skip. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Right here. Okay, so final stand is a little bit wonky. Okay, so this boss is a final stand now. And leading into final, I would say save your supers, right? Just I don't know, shoot the guy with like mint or something. I don't know, just shoot him with mint. Realistically, any decent team is going to be able to do around this much damage, and you should be able to phase the boss and send to final on ground on your third phase. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what this looks like. I'm just like spamming nades and whatever. I'm not even going to bother going for the run here because I know my team is going to kill here. And now, as soon as you hit final, you want 2 people to get on each plate. Okay, so middle gets on absolute, left gets cyclical, right gets constant, 2 people on each plate. Okay, and you're gonna notice here. Wait 1 second. Temporality fractures. You're gonna get that temporality buff, and you'll notice right here. Oh, that's a Minotaur actually. Sorry, misidentification.
Good. Okay.
When you get buff, you'll see in just a second here, you have a main boss in the middle who's immune, so you can't damage him. But in the corners of the arena, so I think there's like one down here, one bottom right, one top left, one top right. They're all in different areas, okay? There's going to be clones of the boss that are very low HP and headless, and they have specific names. And if you have absolute, kill the absolute one. If you have, cyclical, kill the cyclical one, okay? They don't have a lot of health, but you should still have surges and whatever. You can probably just use mint for them, to be honest, and just kill them. Okay, just kill them. If it's someone on Withering Gaze, maybe wither it first and just kill them in pairs. Okay, so you'll see here.
Look for name.
That one's cyclical. That's not mine. Okay, and that one's also full health. Boom, there you go. That one's constant. That's not mine.
One dead.
Absolute on 3.
That's mine. I can do damage to it.
Ours is left, Aqua. Your portal.
Yeah.
Having a grand old time.
One is dead.
Body shot beasting this
Constant's still
guy.
up. Constant's
Also, I believe if you take too long, they like swap positions and shit. So
Still
just
up.
be aware of
It's not
that.
1 HP.
No, yeah, you just melt them.
Looking around, that's not mine.
Kill, guys.
He's not
Oh,
dying.
he's back. Maybe they don't swap around. I don't know. Maybe he just went immune for no reason. Maybe he just hates me. I don't fucking know. Listen, just pay attention to the names, okay? It's pretty straightforward.
He's not dying.
That guy's dead. Boom.
Absolutely not.
And then boom. Agraios' final script activates. Okay. Agraios' final script activates.
Okay, now he died.
Okay. Apparently, chat is telling me they don't actually swap places. So apparently, he just went immune for no reason. Okay. So just keep that in mind.
Damage.
I think this final is actually not tight. But save your T crashes just in case, right? Like, what else are you gonna use them on? The clones? Like, I don't think so.
Crush him.
They crashed him.
Because see, this resets, right? So normally, like, if you take too long to kill the clones, the angry, like, spazzy, like, white mechanic happens here. But this reset, you heard the reset noise. So obviously, final stand, I mean, maybe there's a timer, but, like, it's probably not that tight. But regardless, we have a lot of T crashes. And the boss goes kaboom. Okay, that's it. Now it's time to move on to final. Why is the bottom of my screen so blurry? Oh, sorry. Okay, that was like a season pass thing. Okay, it's time to move on to the final encounter, the one that everybody in chat wants me to talk about. Okay. All right, here we go. So final encounter. How does this encounter work? This encounter is the most complex raid encounter in Destiny 2 history, in Destiny history in general, by probably 2 tiers of magnitude. Okay. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this encounter. Basically, the way the encounter works is, okay, people think it's like time travel. I don't really think it's necessarily time travel. I think on contest, they basically just wanted you to kill him in like one phase. There's still some unknowns in this encounter, but I will explain how our team did it and how I think any team can do it relatively consistently. Okay. So the big thing here is that you're going to be sending people into dangerous, like I would say the highest pressure in this encounter is not actually damage, right? I think for Agraios' team, because they did it like legit and they like didn't do like middle area like damage with extensions, for them, damage was a big problem. Okay. For us, the problem is just make sure that the people who are going inside to do these mechanics as a duo, as a trio, are survivable, right? You want to be on a damage loadout. So you want to be on T-Crash and stuff like that. You want to be on a subclass with T-Crash. You want a subclass with Nighthawk, blah, 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 blah. You know, you want damage stuff ready, but you need to be survivable. And that's what matters. Because although for Agraios' team and the world's first team and all the people who are racing in like the top 3 tier of teams, for them, damage was a big issue. For you guys and for me, because of this new strat, damage is not an issue at all. Okay, damage is not an issue at all. You have so much extra time compared to them. You're going to go into final with he's going to be way lower health. Okay, way lower health. Okay. On top of that, another thing about this encounter is that I think you get 4 rallies or 3. 1 at the start. Yeah, I think it's 4 rallies. You get 4 rallies, okay? Because there's like some time travel shit going on, okay? So you get time travel back into the past, and then you gotta like do more shit, and then you get another rally, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is don't worry too much about your ammo. Don't even worry about not swap, okay? Bungie added not swap to this race and then made it so that you can rally 4 times. So it doesn't even matter if you like change loadouts a bunch of times during the encounter, okay? So, okay, I've wasted enough time. Let's go ahead and talk about how this encounter actually works. So at the start here, you'll notice there's these canisters on the sides of the map, and there's canisters in the middle of the map, okay? And these canisters, right, when you align them, so anybody can align to these canisters at a given moment once the boss starts like choosing people and like banishing them and stuff. Like once the mechanics really get into play and start, and like the boss starts lasering you and shit, you can start aligning to these canisters. Okay, so these canisters, there's a blue one here, there's a white one here, there's a red one like off on the left side of the arena, off camera. They're always in the same places. Okay, so you can align to them, and aligning to them means that the next mini boss to spawn in the arena, or I think it's a full boss, but the next boss that spawns in the arena will drop that color chronon. Okay, now the problem with this is that if you align too early and you don't know what color chronon you want to dunk, then you will have wasted time and on getting wrong chronons, okay? Because only after a certain period of time, after a certain amount of mechanics have been completed, will you be able to read the call out of what's in these lanterns canisters, and then you'll be able to actually dunk in the ring and correctly fill up the hourglass, which is behind me right now, in order to progress the mechanics of the encounter, okay? So normally what you would do here is there is this buff at the start of the encounter. Let's go ahead and look at it. It's called World Line Stability. Okay, and I'm not sure exactly how long this buff is, but it's like 5 minutes, bro. It is so long. It is crazy long. Okay, and so normally what you're doing is you're just sitting here. You're literally sitting here waiting for this buff to reach the bottom third. And when it reaches the bottom third, suddenly you'll be able to see the colors inside of these 3 canisters, and then you'll know where to align. And then someone will kill an imp in a certain room. That will spawn a mini boss in the center here. That will drop chronons, and then boom, you'll be able to dunk the chronons, right? The problem with this is that world line stability actually dictates your encounter timer, and it also dictates how much time you have to damage the boss, okay? Because you can damage the boss if you complete the mechanics with timer left on world line stability. Now, the thing is, if you're forced to sit here and diddle your thumbs for the first 2/3 of essentially what is your damage phase, before you can actually dunk the chronons and like do shit, that was the problem the world's first teams were having. They only had like maybe this much time in their timer going into damage, and then they would have like 4 seconds to do damage, which is enough time to do parasite, crash, parasite, maybe a little bit of special weapon damage, and that's it. Okay, so they were finishing each phase and doing maybe 10% of the boss's health. They would do like this much of the boss's health, tiny amount of health. Okay, now the strat that we have, we didn't come up with this, by the way. Someone else came up with this, but the strat that we have and that we're using that I think make this super, super easy to clear is that you can just RNG the chronons. Okay, you can just RNG the chronons, but in order to get to the point where you can actually spawn in the mini boss and do the mechanics and blah, 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 you still need to do some mechs. You still need to understand how the encounter works. You can't skip mechanics, but you don't need to wait until world line stability as at literally a third. Okay, so I say RNG. If your team is good, you should be able to clear even with the worst possible RNG at the cost of 2 reses per phase. And you only need to do this twice. So if you have the worst possible RNG, you guess wrong twice in a row on both phases before you go into main phase, you will still only use 4 reses. And I'm not going to lie, if your team is prepared and they have correct builds and they're helping each other out and they're not being noobs, you should not eat any more than like 1 res on this entire encounter besides doing dunks, right? So play cover, just chill, whatever, make special finishers, dump your ammo, it's like the stuff I said in the other encounters, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, the thing is, there's probably a way to know what you should dunk into the canisters without having to wait that long. That's probably a forgiveness mechanic that was incorporated into the raid, but we don't know how to do that yet. And because we don't know how to do that yet, I'm just going to explain the RNG way of doing it.
Yeah, we should just leave.
Maybe by the time this video is out, someone will have found the way. And if that's the case, put that shit in the pinned comments and I'll pin it, okay? Or put that shit in the comments, I'll write it in the pinned comment. But for now, we're going to talk about the RNG way. So, Koregos readies a new world line. Around this time, like when you kill the ads, Koregos is going to pick 2 people, right? And he's going to open one of his 3 portals. I'm sorry, I haven't really explained the arena too much. There's these 3 big triangles, right? There's one over here. There's one like behind me. And they're portals, right? And one at a time is going to be open. It's a 1 in 3, which one is open at a time. And there's one also that a crystal is lasering. Okay. Now remember how I said at the very beginning of this guide that the order that you complete the encounters before Koregos will affect Koregos itself? This is what I mean. You are guaranteed, whatever encounter you finish first, we finished Hydra first. You are guaranteed to get the crystal lasering whatever encounter you finish first. So this is actually the Hydra portal. We finish Hydra first. Every single time we wipe, no matter how many times we wipe, it's always going to laser Hydra first, meaning you're going to do the Hydra mini mechanics phase first. Okay. And when I say mini mechanics, yeah, you're doing a mechanics phase for every single portal, which includes one of all of the bosses that you already fought. And you're fighting mini versions of those bosses, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, we're going to take a look at how that works. Okay. So right now that portal's not open. Yeah. Let's go ahead and kill some ads, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if he's actually chosen people for banishment yet. We're going to take a look at that in a second.
The reason you do blue first is since red's closer, that means it's like less time.
Okay. There we go. So Koregos summons this Koregos protocol. You'll see I have a banishment timer on my screen. Perfect. That's exactly what I just wanted to explain. And the boss will just light up these things here. There's like these diamonds. There's these like portals, blah, blah, blah. He's going to start shooting lasers at you. The lasers are pretty chill. Try not to like die in the middle here. I mean, if you're chilling and you're like moving around and shit and you're like schmoving, you know, it's not too bad. But, you know, just try not to die. But yeah, he's going to choose 2 random players from your team and he's going to say excludes them from its reality. These 2 players are going to get the banishment buff. If you don't go into a portal or interact with one of these cubes in the first 30 seconds here, you're going to die. Okay. So just pay attention. It's going to be 2-2-2, right? First 2 players on your team, 2 another random players on your team, 2 random with removal, right? With, whatever, you know, it's going to be random with removal. So everybody on your team is going to be picked once. Okay. So me and Giggs, we get picked here. The strat that we had is me and Giggs in order to save. So there's 4 cubes that appear in the middle. Right, you saw those cubes I was talking about earlier? Let me show you them again, just in case you didn't see.
That means it's like less time.
Okay, boom. See these cubes? It's just like actual Koregos in DP, right? There's cubes. There's 4 cubes, right? Normally there's 4 sets of cubes, I suppose. But these 4 cubes, what they allow you to do is escape banishment. So you have 2 options. You can either interact with the cube, that'll erase your banishment timer, and you don't have to go into a portal. You can also leave this reality and go into a portal that's open, and that will also remove your banishment timer. However, when you get into a portal, which you'll see in a second here, there is a restriction, right? You can't just leave. You can't just leave. There's something you got to do. So I'll show you that in just a second here.
Me and Aegis.
Yep. So me and Giggs, right? Our strat here is the 2 people that get chosen first always go into the first portal, no matter what. Always go into the first portal, no matter what portal it is. Go in, kill the Cyclops, which I'll explain in a second, and then come out. And then the next 4 people that get chosen, there's 4 cubes in middle. They can just use the cubes. 1 cube each, and then banishment is taken care of. Right? Banishment is taken care of. So first 2 people, because this is the chillest part of the encounter and you have a lot of time and those 2 people can come out and easily help with the stuff, you know, and during second and third banish, these people, we're going to send them into the portal first in order to save the 4 cubes for the rest of the mechanics. And then once all 6 banishments have been erased, either through going through portals or through picking up the cubes, you can set specific people who you want to do mechanics. So on my team, it was me and Aqua. We were primarily doing the mini boss mechanics, which is great because now I have a POV that I can show you of how the mechanics actually work instead of like a middle POV where you can't see anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Me and Giggs, we're going to go into this first portal here. Notice it's not a laser portal. Doesn't matter. We're just going to go in. Okay. We're going to go in just to erase our banishment timer. Okay. I would say this room is the worst room. This Wyvern guy sucks. He sucks. Okay. Diastole, super annoying, right? Make sure you're jumping here. If you get suspended and he blasts you like twice, you're dead. Okay. So just play cover. Just make sure you're jumping. Here, our mission, me and Giggs, we're going to ignore this plate. This plate gives you a buff that is relevant to the mini boss mini game that you have to play in here, but don't pick it up for now. It's not the end of the world if you do, but just, you know, you don't need to pick it up for now. She's going to leave, right? Just going to leave.
What's up, Ash?
I'm playing hot potato with the ground here.
That actually hit me. Wow.
Giggs is, I believe, suspended behind me or something like that, but thankfully he is alive. And just kill these Cyclops, okay? I would recommend running Void Resist because these Cyclops can really sneak up on you and just like one-shot you. So just run Void Resist during your running phase of the encounter. You're probably not going to die to anything else really, besides the Wyvern. And the Wyvern is also Void, so that works out. So yeah, just kill this guy, right? And every time, by the way, people go into a portal, after a couple seconds, it's going to lock up. So make sure 2 people go into the portal at the same time. And there's going to be a Cyclops on the inside that's locking them in and a Cyclops on the outside that's locking them in. So pay attention. Every time people go into a portal, outside people can be caught off guard if they're not paying attention. When you see people go into a portal, make sure you're spawn camming the Cyclops that spawns on the ledge outside of their portal when they go in. Okay, so you know how me and Gigs just went through a portal frame. On that ledge, on that bronze metal ledge, there's going to be a Cyclops that respawns there once we go in. So you got to kill both Cyclopses to unlock both sides of the portal, and then we can leave, and that's pretty much it. We just go in here to kill the Cyclops, and that allows us to leave and resets our banish timer, or gets rid of our banish timer. Okay, so boom, me and Gigs kill this guy, and now we're basically just playing to live here. I almost get suspended like a noob. And we're waiting, and our teammates have successfully just let us out. Unfortunately, I fall back into the portal here, which is something that's very possible if you're entering with some backward momentum, so just be aware of that. So a little bit of a delay in mechanics here, but again, I just need to get out, right? The portal's already open. It doesn't respawn Cyclops if you go in again. So if you accidentally fall in, just book it to the end and leave.
Yep.
Dude, look at this noob, guys. He's just getting suspended over and over. Like,
I'm
holy
out.
burger. Okay, we're going to skip past this because... yeah, not a surprise. I just leave. Okay, I just leave. That's how it works. Okay, so my teammates at this point, I think we're done with like second and third banishment or whatever. And always at the end of the banish phase and whatever, the laser portal will always be open because that's the important one. That's where you actually need to do some mechanics, right? The other portals, they're just there to like, you can just go in them if you want to reset your banish timer. But again, we're always doing one portal, first 2 people go in. Other 4 people use the cubes. It's the simplest way to do things. It cuts out a lot of the BS of people going into the portals and dying, okay? So you just need to kill a Cyclops, and you just need to leave. That's all you need to do for now, okay? In addition, because we are RNGing which Chronon we're going to guess that the hoop is, align as early as you can. Just align right away. We like doing blue into red, I believe. So, because I think the positioning was nice, like relative to where the hoop was. So you can do blue into red. I don't know, do whatever the fuck works for you, okay? We did blue into red. So at the start of the encounter, as soon as the lasers and shit start, you can align, just have someone align with blue. Just make sure they always remember to do it. And the reason for that is because in order to spawn the Wyvern in middle, there's a Wyvern mini boss that spawns on a trigger in middle. And when you kill it, he drops Chronons, right? But in order to spawn that Wyvern, you need to kill imps in a certain room, okay? And so in order for the people who go in to be able to kill those imps instantly without having to worry, just have the align ready already. Because the align is what determines what color Chronons the Wyvern drops. Okay, I hope that's clear. So, me and Aqua, like I said, we are dedicated mechs here. We're going to go into this area. And because we did Hydra first, we're going to be playing the Hydra mini game first. Or we're going to do the Hydra mini mechs first. So how does the Hydra mini mechs work? So the first thing we're going to do here is Aqua may have already done it, but he's going to go ahead and kill the imps.
Wyvern.
So Aqua, it seems like he's already killed the imps because they're calling Wyvern. When you kill the imps in a room, the imps, they're not random. They always spawn in the room that has the relevant minigame. So whatever portal is being lasered, aka in this case, because we did Hydra first in our clear, it's the Hydra room. You can just go into your room and just kill the imps right away because you've already aligned. That will guarantee that the Wyvern will now drop 4 blue Chronons. Now here comes the RNG part. One person is going to be your sacrificial lamb on your team. They're going to jump through with a blue Chronon. If they die, then you know it's not blue. The remaining 3 people obviously don't jump through because it's not blue, okay? Then you simply wait for one of the people outside to align to white or to red. I don't know if we did red second. We probably did red second, okay? So Gigs, that was his job. He was aligning to red. As soon as he's aligned with red, there's going to be respawning imps in this room. We're then going to kill the imps, and that's going to spawn another Wyvern. But this time, surprise, surprise, the Wyvern is going to drop 4 red Chronons, and that's going to be your second guess. So now you have a second sacrificial lamb. They're going to jump through the hoop again. If they die, then you know it's white. If they don't die, the remaining 3 people can jump through. And of course, as you guys know, you can overwrite a blue Chronon that you're holding with a red Chronon by simply interacting with it. If it needs to be repeated, I will just say it because that's obviously very relevant here. Okay, so the thing I was saying about the RNG is that yes, it's technically RNG if you want the best possible longest milk damage phases, but the amount of time it takes to guess is really not that long, you know, compared to how long the entire world line stability thing is, right? So like a re-guess takes 10 seconds, maybe 10 seconds if your team is fast. You got a guy jumping in, he gets rezzed, one guy aligns, you shoot imps, you shoot another like Wyvern or whatever, and then you dunk another Chronon. It maybe takes 10, 20 seconds, right? It takes 10, 20 seconds. And so you have a lot of time here. And so the difference between, you know, doing, starting damage 10 seconds earlier versus 20 seconds earlier, this bar is proportional. So if you have like this much left and this is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds normally, it speeds up like crazy when you do damage, right? So realistically, like all in all, if you have really bad RNG, you're probably losing like a couple seconds of damage worth of time if your team is fast at cycling. Okay. So I hope everyone understands this right now, what we're going through right now. Okay. So let's listen.
Level dunk.
He's dunking. Is it good? Are we good at the casino? What's going
blue.
on? We'll see. You'll see here in a second. If Chronon's flowing to the hourglass, we're chilling. There we go. So we got lucky on the RNG. K3 dunked a blue. That means the remaining 3 people are going to dunk blue. As soon as, by the way, the hourglass is 2/6 full. So it's 1/3 full. Okay. So you only need 4 dunks. Every wyvern drops 4. So you don't need any more people. The 4 people outside and the people doing mechs on the inside, 4 people outside, they all grab 1, they all dunk. Once you dunk, you shoot the diamond underneath. Shooting the diamond underneath then enables you to do the mechanics inside of the minigame room. Okay, so we have Hydra here. This is the minigame room. Me and Aqua are about to duo the minigame mechanics. Okay, I didn't call this minigame in my team, but a lot of you in chat are saying minigame. So I like that word. We're going to use it. Minigame. Okay.
Good.
Okay, so good. They're dunking the remaining
Blue,
3.
it's blue.
Boom, Chronos flow. Boom, Chronos flow. That's all my teammates jumping through. And now they're going to shoot the diamond. Boom. The burden of time slips to reality. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, boom. So this is what's going to happen, right? In this specific room, by the way, you guys might have this in a different order, right? If you did Wyvern first, you're not going to do this first, but I'm going to explain in the order that my team did it. Obviously, you're going to just do the mechs in whatever order you can do them in, right? So Hydra mechanics, how do they work? Easy. Easy.
Aegis, you're good.
Watch what happens here. Okay? I simply get on the plate. It gives me constant. You need this buff. For this room.
Sure.
I get on the plate. It gives me constant. I stand in the beam. I notice 2 of these portals are blue. 1 of them is red. I labeled this one 1, this one 2, this one 3. Very easy. When you enter the room, 1 is bottom left, 2 is top mid. It's 1, 2, 3 left to right. Whatever you want to call it. Call it left, right, top. Call it whatever the fuck you want. Okay? Call it something that your teammate's going to recognize. In this case, I call 1, 3. Right? 1 and 3. I'm about to die.
Guys, chill middle. They will.
Okay. Also, if you ever exit the beam, it resets the progress that your teammate has made in terms of breaking this guy's shield. So try not to exit the beam. If you do exit the beam, let your teammate know. Okay, it resets it. At least I think it resets it. I'm not 100% sure, but just stay in the beam. Okay, just stay in the beam. Okay. So now Aqua, he sees 1 and 3. One of these portals between 1 and 3 is going to be blue for Aqua. Okay, so it's like a 2-2 kind of thing situation. He's gonna, I think it's like the common portal. I think maybe for him it would be like 2 and 3. So he's just gonna, pick 3. He's gonna dunk on it. I don't know what his POV looks like, so I'm not 100% sure that's how that works. But again, he's just gonna dunk whatever is blue. He's gonna interact with a cube on top of the blue portal for him out of the 2 that I called out. I hope that's pretty clear. I don't have his POV, but again, I think that's fairly straightforward. Okay, as soon as he interacts with that cube, what's gonna happen?
And the spawn after we hit damage.
I can break it. I can break the eye. And then you just kill this mini boss. You have a little timer here, right? So you make sure you kill him, right? But he dies to like 3 min shots from 2 people. So just
Done?
Just shoot him. Sorry, 2 min shots from 2 people. Okay, so at this point in the encounter, as soon as you finish the mini game inside and the boss disappears and dies and you have undoing of Epoptes, from here, tick, 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 tick. This is your damage phase. Okay? So at this point, when you're done with the minigame, all the people outside, damage loadouts. Tell them, damage loadouts. They should know. Okay? I literally swapped to my damage loadout as I jumped through the portal. Okay? There is a wyvern here. All the ads despawn when damage starts. Okay? So just like, you can just run away from them. Okay?
Here. Right now.
So here, this is super annoying, by the way. Okay, so there's this new mechanic in Final Boss called the Temporal Locus. Okay, and certain people, right? Actually, let me just explain this to you. The people so every crystal corresponds to a specific encounter, by the way. So this crystal corresponds to the door that we just came out of, aka this is the Hydra crystal. And the Hydra crystal, someone with the Hydra buff, so I got constant temporality from that area, is able to break this crystal. Okay, and only once you have actually gotten that message in chat. So let me see here. Fading memory leaves a temporal locus unprotected. Now you can actually break these crystals with just constant temporality. But unless you have finished the minigame, the crystal inside the crystal that you expose cannot be broken. Okay? So make sure, obviously, you finish the minigame, you come out. The guy that kills is going to have constant temporality. The guy that was on plate is also going to have constant temporality. These interacts are really annoying, by the way. You need line of sight. You can be almost anywhere in the encounter and you can still interact with them. But you need to aim at like it's like the bottom middle area and you can't be obstructed. It's really weird, okay? Just try and stand in a stable place that you're a little bit elevated in or a little bit close to the crystal. That's the tips that I can give you. And aim around where I'm aiming. Aim like in this middle bottomish area, okay? Just look around. Eventually you'll see a prompt. It's really fucking annoying. At least during like the final damage phase, when you have to do these like crystal prompts and shit, it's not that bad. But in this particular area, it's really annoying to try and get a prompt, okay? So here, I'm kind of just looking around. I'm like, wait, what the fuck, right? You see how quickly it disappears when I just move my camera a little bit? Really annoying. But anyways, regardless. Try and stand still. Get that shit done. See that? Okay. So I just blew up the crystal. Now, if we had not finished the minigame, my teammates would not be able to break that shit behind me. They would not be able to break the inside crystal that I just exposed. But because we finished the minigame, that temporal locus got exposed. My teammates now that don't have any temporality buff, very important. Later on, when you have multiple people with temporality buff, this is important. They can't break the crystals, okay? So anybody without the temporality buff can shoot that crystal, and that will instantly start damage. Now, the nice thing here is notice we have half our fucking bar left. We are half our fucking bar left. Remember, teams were finishing this mini damage phase with like this much done on the health bar, this much done on the health bar. Watch how much we're about to do, okay? I would recommend anything that you were going to use on Koregos on actual day one, like Parasite Mint, just use it here. Use it here, stack up your Parasite during mechanics, chill, very chill, very easy. Also, I would say recommend for tractor users, make sure you're point blank here. He is a really weird tractor hitbox. Just make sure you're point blank. Barrel stuff that guy. I have literally enough time to farm up a second well here. Okay, so this is a long time. We obviously we obviously got good RNG, but even if you don't get good RNG, it's still playable. It's still clearable. He summons the Iatros protocol. Just jump during damage. That's all.
No, the whole thing's a crit. The whole thing's a crit.
Chilling, placing another well.
Go on left, guys. Well on left, go on left.
Oh, and if it wasn't obvious, this boss will now, like, he will summon more and more of the other boss's mechanics, like, during damage. So there'll be a laser at some point, too. Okay. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. You see what I'm saying? So the way this encounter works, by the way, is that you have one mini damage phase, you have another mini damage phase, and then you have a main phase, and then you have another main phase. So teams were getting to the main phase with like this much damage done, and we just did this much in one phase. So this shit makes this shit Mickey. Okay, it makes this shit Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have bad RNG, you can probably enter your main damage phase with like this much on the health bar or something like that. Okay, so. And we weren't even like super optimal here. We were just going for the clear. We're just playing for the clear. Like we weren't even like super optimal or anything. Okay. So after this, after every damage phase, the boss like folds up. Just get away from the boss. Like don't fall through the map. That's embarrassing. Okay, don't do that. Okay. So now here comes the time travel. You're going to do the same thing again. The exact same thing again, except you're going to do the second boss's minigame instead of the first boss's minigame. Okay, so super simple. The way we designed our strat, you can do it on the exact same for the second mini boss phase as well. Okay.
Another one, but it's not worth me popping. I don't have.
See here, the encounter acts like you were just, you're doing the encounter again, right? You're doing the encounter again, except you have some progress on the health bar, right? Okay. So you get to place another flag. I think you get 4 flags. You get 4 flags, guys, in this encounter. 4 flags. Okay. So don't worry too much about wasting ammo and stuff like that. Just make sure that when you go into damage, you have enough ammo to do 20 seconds of damage, 30 seconds of damage, whatever it is. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So notice here, I have a buff called Undoing of Epoptes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo Epoptes. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, something important is, remember, I mentioned that crystals can be broken by people that have the corresponding room's plate buff. Okay. Another thing you should know is that when you kill a mini boss, like the failed experiment guys, they also give the murderer, killer, the person who killed them, the plate buff for their room. Okay.
Yes,
so watch this. Watch this.
Tokens, right?
I'm going to kill this Epoptes failed experiment guy.
Yeah.
And
did we align to blue already? Because I'm about to do it right now.
I think K3 actually got that kill. So me and K3, or was it K3? Me and Aqua. I think Aqua actually got the kill. So whoever actually gets the kill credit will get constant temporality. They'll get constant temporality. And so what this will allow you to do is, on the first phase, you only have to break 1 crystal. On the second phase, you have to break 2 crystals. On the third phase, you have to break 3 crystals. Okay. For the first crystal, you don't need to do any mini boss mechanics. Okay, you just need someone with constant temporality. And guess what? The game gave you constant temporality. It gave one person constant temporality. So what can they do? They can interact with the crystal right now, and everyone else can shoot it. So watch what
Yeah,
happens. That crystal, I realize I don't have the buff. So Aqua has to do it.
It's aligned. I already aligned it. Don't worry about it.
So we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Aqua's going to interact eventually. Boom. He popped it. He popped it.
Destroyed it.
Aqua, it's probably Aqua.
And notice we can break it. We can break it, right? No mechanics needed inside. Okay, so the first crystal, right? So for us in particular, it goes Hydra, Wyvern, and Hobgoblin, right? So during the first phase, you obviously can't break any for free. During the second phase, you can break the Hydra crystal for free. During the third phase, you already did the mechs for both of those two. So you could do a Hydra, Wyvern crystal for free. And the Hobgoblin crystal, you do it later. Okay, so break the crystals at the start. Whoever got the kill credit can open them. Everybody else can shoot. You have the banishment. We're going to do the mechanics the exact same way as first thing. So the only difference between the first two phases is, number one, you have a crystal from last time, right? Instead of having to break one crystal, you break two. And the first one you get to break for free, right? Whoever gets the kill credit is going to be the one that interacts. Everybody else can shoot it because they don't have buff. Okay. The other difference is the mini boss that you do for the mini game is going to change. Okay. You're going to do whatever boss you did second as your mini game. So let me go ahead and go in here, right? It's me and Gigs first, I believe. Yes, it is me and Gigs first. So me and Gigs. Now, this is good RNG because the laser is the first portal. The laser is the first portal, and that means we can shoot the imps basically as soon as they spawn in. Okay? So me and Gigs, we're going to hop in the whip.
Yes.
Yeah, coming.
I'm waiting for him so I don't lock him out because of the Cyclops. And we're both heading in. Both go in. This room is AIDS. This room is AIDS, and it also has the worst minigame, right? But
Oops.
it's not that bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're chilling. We're just going to kill the Cyclops. Number one priority. When you enter a room, kill the Cyclops first. 100% number one priority.
Yeah. Like the Cyclops.
Look at this noob, bro. Getting suspended again.
Next Cyclops is going to be up by me, guys.
Okay. So now our portal should open as soon as they kill the Cyclops up above our portal frame. Or near our, in front of our portal. You know what I mean. Okay. In front of our portal. Okay, also some cool tech, by the way. If you want to re-enter your Wyvern room, right? And let's say, by the way, in this room, it's really annoying to cross from bottom to top, right? Because you have to climb up some shit and the Wyvern shooting you, get suspended, blah, blah, blah. If you want a free get out of free jail card, just leave the room and go back in and you'll spawn at the top. Pro tech, I was using that shit. This room sucks.
I'm out.
Gigs is leaving. I low-key wanted to stay to kill the imps. And I was like, oh wait, I should stay to kill the imps, right? Because Look at how much time is left on our meter here. This is why this is good RNG, right? This is why this is good RNG. Look at how much time is left on our meter here, and I'm already killing the imps, so they can already experiment and test what they want to dunk, right? So I kill the imps.
Yes. Kill.
This spawns the Wyvern for them, and I'm gonna leave because I don't want to die. Okay. And at this point, the Wyvern has spawned in. So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I didn't get to show you this on first phase because I was inside. But I'm outside now. This is what happens when you kill an imp. When you kill an imp...
I will try.
Wait for it. Do I ever even look back? Okay, I don't even look back. But the Wyvern, when he dies, will drop 4 blue Chronons because that's what we aligned first. Okay? Okay, there you go. You can kind of see it, right? Hold on. Yeah, they're like in there. Okay? They're picking up the Chronons, and K3 just said, I'm going to try. He's going to dunk. He's going to be our sacrificial lamb. Okay. Cool. So, what happens?
Remember, I want K3 and Brandon to come with us when you guys are done dunking.
Let's see if we get some good luck. We got good luck. Okay, so we got double good RNG here. And you could say that, that's why we cleared. But looking at the damage, like, even if we got, like, bad RNG with the amount of reses that we had, we still would have cleared. So I believe in you guys. With the advice that I'm giving you and the knowledge that I'm giving you ahead of time here, you guys, even if you get bad RNG, if you're playing consistently and you're not wasting reses, you can definitely clear no matter what the RNG is. But obviously, if you feel like it and you feel like you're running out of time a lot and, your retry stuff outside is, like, slow, you could wipe for better RNG.
Blue.
Lock in.
Okay,
So me and Aqua know that we're going to do the mini game here, so we get the plate buff ahead of time, so we don't have to touch the plate again. And obviously there's no timer on these plate buffs, so you can get them whenever you want.
I'm going in the room.
Okay, so let's say it was wrong. I would go bottom left and kill the imps again, right? And then they would get, whenever they call that they align to the second color, whether it's white or red, they would align, and then I would kill the imps again, and they would get another try, another Wyvern, drop 4 Chronons. You know the drill. Okay, I'm just repeating myself because I know this is a lot of information. Oops, sorry. Okay.
Shoot the thing. We need some more, guys.
Knocking right now.
Okay, so boom. That means we're good for mechanics. What do we do now?
We just started.
Me and Aqua, we're just going to play the Wyvern box game. We're going to play the Wyvern box game exactly like you did in Wyvern in regular DP. Okay, except the cubes are not stacked up on top of each other. They are, well, they're in set positions, but you just need to memorize where they are. The left ones are pretty much just on the left. The right ones, there's one in front of you. The second one goes behind you, and there's another one in front of you. So I'll just show you what it looks like.
I'm going in. I'm going in.
I'm in room.
So I would say this is the most annoying room to do the mini boss mechanics in. Okay, the Hydra one, that one's super fucking easy. Like you guys saw us, we just killed some ads. Picks up a cube, we shoot the fucking eyeball on him, we kill him instantly, right? Super easy. Hobgoblin minigame, also super easy. This one, you're getting suspended. Every time you shoot a cube, there's 3 little traps that spawn and they all like fly towards you and detain you. You can undetain yourself in this room. It would be absolute AIDS if you couldn't. But you can undetain yourself in this room, but it's just like really annoying. You have to deal with suspend diastole, you have to deal with the traps, you have to deal with shooting the cubes on time, you have the boss shooting you have the Minotaur, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so like it's, you know, it's annoying. Okay?
Yes.
Bang. So he's ready. We both shoot. If you're using a rocket atom like me, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think he knew that I was using a rocket atom toward the end here, but if you're using a rocket atom like me, just make sure you're pre-shooting a little bit.
These.
One more.
Okay,
you missed.
either him or me, man. So one of us missed.
Two missed,
But
two
yeah,
missed.
you'll see here, I shoot the traps here. I almost shoot the cube by accident.
Outside people kill the.
Okay, thankfully I got that.
Nice.
Oh, apparently this detain bubble is different and like protects you from the ads. That's great. And also is able to, you can undetain yourself.
Yeah.
Wait on this one.
On this one, on this one, on this one.
No.
Also, I'm pretty sure the way this works is if you dissipate enough times, the cubes just disappear and you just like, you're fucked. Okay. So you can dissipate. It's like fine. There's no like hourglass or anything. It doesn't like drain your hourglass in the middle or anything, but like just try not to dissipate and only shoot like when you're ready. Okay.
Okay. It doesn't matter, guys. Chill. On this one.
Okay. We got that one. You only need to do 3 boxes each.
Nice. One more.
Hey, Stinky, look at Discord. Reclear. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll try to sleep on time. Yeah, sure.
One more and damage. I will shoot.
Okay, so you see how annoying this is? Like, even though we have 4 people here, and like I'm like shooting the traps, there's a lot of traps. Okay, so maybe I would recommend using a trace. I would recommend using a trace. It kills the traps a lot faster, even better than rocket pulse, because they have very little health, and you can just beam them down. And obviously the cubes are like 1 HP, right? So I would recommend if you were doing this, don't do rocket sidearm. Okay, I just had rocket sidearm on because that was on my loadout, and I was using this for all the other mini boss mechanics. So just use a trace. Just use a trace. Don't be like me. Okay. I made it a lot harder on myself. But the second you do 3 boxes worth and he loses control of face space 3 times,
Kill.
he is damageable. Beat his ass. He is dead.
Detain.
Okay, so you see, fading memory leaves the temporal locus unprotected, which means we can break the second internal crystal.
Let me grab.
And remember, this is your damage phase. So as soon as you kill that mini boss, get ready to put damage loadouts on. Okay. Okay. Got my shit on. My teammates are waiting for me to interact. I'm looking for a little bit of special ammo, but I don't bother.
Finishers, yeah.
So activate.
You see how annoying this is? This shit is annoying. They gotta make the radius bigger, bro. Because all the other temporal locuses, like during later on in the encounter, which you'll see, they are like really annoying. Okay.
Activate the thing.
Okay, boom. My teammates shoot that shit,
Okay.
and it's damage.
I plus fall.
You'll notice there's a different mechanic during this one. It's variable elimination. There's a laser in the sky. So just make sure you don't die to the laser. Like, it's pretty obvious, but just like duck down over here. Okay.
Variable. Don't forget.
So here, as my timer gets slow,
Laser, guys. Laser.
Katie was like freaking out. Yeah. If I just dip in, I come back out.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear.
You're good, buddy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Get a second well. I realize I'm like in the path of the laser. I hide. We lose some deaths here and there to like laser and shit. Whatever.
It's fine. We'll understand.
This is crazy, by the way. If you showed this to like Salta Greppo, he would creamy Greppo his pants, bro. Like, entering your main damage phase with this much done to the boss already is crazy. Okay? So yeah, this strat's OP.
Really good damage.
Yeah, really good.
Okay. So, now we move into your actual damage phase.
Just don't.
So, for here, you want to be on, I think the recommended loadout is Finality's Augur and Snipers and Mint, right? So just total damage, long range stuff. Would not recommend T-Crash, I think. I think all the Titans like swap to Twilight Arsenal or something. If you have Hunters, put them on Nighthawk or whatever. And it's chill. It's chill. Okay?
Yeah, just don't.
And when you have this much damage done to the boss, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You could, sit there fucking slow stroking it during like main damage.
How many revives do we have each? I have
Four?
one.
Four? It should be
We have
four. It should be four.
This should be it. We should send it home.
Yeah. Again, like outside of like 2 random deaths, like it's really chill. It's really chill.
Even if we
okay?
scam first damage, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of mechanics going on here, but the strat that we have, I think is, I don't think it can be improved in any way given the information that we have. I think it's very like solidly constructed and very consistent, and it really simplifies the mechanics and really limits the amount of errors you can make. So I'm really happy with this strat.
No,
and I hope you guys get clears out of it.
Not good. I'm putting my cat in the bathroom. I let you get.
Okay, Agua took a break here to like wrangle his cat and like trap him in the bathroom because he was bothering him, but we're gonna skip past this and get into our actual damage phase, or get into the actual mechanics. So notice here, right? Epoptes, I have undoing of Epoptes and undoing of Iatros. Okay, so I'm gonna kill Epoptes. Aqua's gonna kill Iatros because he was doing mechs with me, right? And also, something nice about this encounter is that if you're a noob and you die with undoing of Epoptes and you get rezzed, you will still have the buff. You will still have the buff, right? Which is really important because if you die and you lose the buff, that would fuck over the rest of your encounter. Okay, but thankfully, because you still have the buff, you can kill these guys even if you get rezzed. It's not the end of the world. But obviously, try not to die. Okay, so I'm gonna kill this guy. This time I actually do get the kill credit. So you see here, constant temporality. And now I actually don't remember which crystal corresponds to Hydra. So if you are a noob like me and you forgot which one corresponds to Hydra, because I think a lot of people probably also will forget which one corresponds to Hydra, just walk around and try to interact with all of them.
Shoot mine.
So I'm walking around. I'm like sniffing this one. If you're down here, it's probably not a good place to sniff. Like go up on the ledge.
Here's the one across.
I am chosen.
Okay, I'm sniffing this one. Oh, that's the one. I've sniffed it. And the interact is gone. Okay, I'm sniffing from here. Nope. All right, I'm sniffing from here.
This is awful.
Oh,
Are you sure
sniff successful. Okay, and then my teammates shoot it.
this is this one?
So that's what I meant, right? 2 crystals, and then the third one is the one that you actually have to do mechanics for. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I have banishment here, which means I should be going into the first portal. That's what I'm doing.
Portal. We have time.
Going.
We have a lot of time here. Yeah, just chill.
Okay, he went a little early. I think I almost got locked out here, but thankfully I think I do make it in time. Yeah, that was pretty close. That was pretty close.
Cyclops.
Yep.
As usual, this room is fucking lovely.
Cyclops.
Little bouncy castle action going on. Get my shield break charge.
Gonna help.
I just need everyone to Cyclops spawn in the order of the portal. That should never be solo shooting.
So at this point, we could just leave this room. There's no like imps or anything. We've done the mini game in here already, so we could just leave.
Okay.
I'm out.
I'm making a special finisher for myself, and I am dipping.
Okay, just chill here. Wait for like timer. Kill ads. Farm ammo for final thing. You can create specials.
Okay, so the funny thing is, on the third phase, you actually have to do the mechanics properly because there is no reason to have a long damage phase because on the third phase here of mechanics, no matter how much time you have left on worldline stability, the boss just leaves. He just leaves, okay? So because of that, take your time. Take your time. Relax, slow stroke a little, sit back in your chair, get a drink of water, take your time. Don't fuck up this mechanics because at this point, you've committed, right? You've done the first phase of damage, you've done the second phase of damage, third phase of damage. Just chill. Just chill. You have the entire bar. You have like 5 minutes of time to not mess things up. Okay? So what that means is that our strat for third phase is a little different. Because there's no point in going in early to kill imps, to align, to blah, blah, blah. Doesn't do anything, right? So just wait outside. Just wait outside. Just don't even go in. All the banishments are done at this point. It's the exact same strat. 2 people go in at the start to get rid of their banishment. The other 4 people, they use the cubes in the middle. They're chilling. You're chilling. Just make ammo. Just make ammo. Make special ammo. Relax. Tell each other jokes. You know, tickle each other's toes. Do whatever you want to do. Okay? That's the Cyclops I was talking about earlier, right? Whenever someone goes into a room, Cyclops spawns, you know, on the ledge. I don't think we showed that earlier, so there it is. I'm making some special, having a good time. And the key here is the mechanic for like revealing what color the canisters are. That will happen once you reach the bottom third of the health bar, or of the worldline stability bar, I should say, right? So me and my teammate, we tend to go in around here. That's a good time, right? Because that way, instead of going in and wasting this much time inside a portal and risking dying, because the more and more time you spend in a portal with like just one other person or just by yourself, the more and more you risk dying. Just don't go in. Just don't go in. Just wait. Okay? So look, we're chilling. I'm currently sitting back, hands on my head, feet up on my desk. I'm relaxed. I think I asked my team multiple times here if I can piss, because I really have to piss. And so I'm like That's got to be like 2 minutes at least, right? Surely I have time to piss. But they said no, so I didn't piss. Anyways,
Me, I don't have buff. I don't have buff.
we're just chilling. We're just chilling. We're just running around. I'm observing this fine Vex architecture on the ground
No,
here.
bro.
No, bro.
You know, the boss is, you know, pissing, lightning. We're just chilling. We're just chilling, right? Maybe I'll make another special finisher here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, no big deal. Okay.
I don't it.
Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm sitting in front of the portal. Me and the other person who are supposed to go in here. We're chilling. We're waiting. And we're gonna go in when the time is right. So me and Bran. Now, something you should know about Hobgoblin mini boss minigame specifically. All right, you should send one person who can do whatever. Right, one person who is gonna get the plate buff inside the room. They can have buff, not have buff, whatever. The second person who goes in with the person in Hobgoblin room should not have any temporality buff. Because if you have temporality buff, you will not be able to help with the mechanics. Understand? Okay. So,
I mean, I understand.
me and Bran, the reason why, normally it's me and Aqua that do the mechs, right? But Aqua has temporality. And so now we've assigned Bran to come in and do mechs with me. Okay?
Let me know when we're going in.
So we're chilling, relaxing. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just go in. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go in. I'm like, okay, bro, go in the fucking portal.
Fight.
Okay, sorry. There we go. Now we're going to go in. Okay, we're in the portal. Okay, so this room's a little different. The safe spot in this area, for your information, is right here. Okay, so just hide under here. Even if he like peeks over the ledge and like aims down at you, he's not going to hit you. So hide over here and, you know, just kill the ads.
White.
So around this time, by the way, your teammates are going to be ready, right? They're going to align to the correct color because they know what the color is. The color is showing up, right? When you reach the bottom third and this shit shows up on your screen, that means your teammates know what color is correct, right? The middle lanterns will have a chronon inside of them. They'll align to that one. I don't know if I explained the mechanics, like how you do it normally pretty clearly at the start of this encounter explanation. But just so you know, around this time, again, when this line shows up, bottom third of the world line stability bar, the middle like lanterns, the middle capsules, right, the ones that were empty at the start of the encounter, they will fill up all with the same color, and then you need to align with the capsule on the outer ledges, like the top ledges, that matches that color. Okay, just to be clear here, because I know we haven't touched on this in a while. We talked about this at the very, very start of the explanation. Okay, so while they're doing that, after they align, guess who needs to kill the imp? That's right.
Laser, be careful.
Me.
Laser.
I need to kill the imp.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, I think Bran just killed the imp above me. You heard the imps exploding above us. So Bran just killed the imp above me.
Kill him, guys. Kill him.
Oh god, he's all on the left.
Okay, apparently Bran did not kill the imp. So I think this is where like they start yelling, "Yo, kill the imp!"
Kill him, guys. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
I need help killing the Cyclops Aegis.
Guys, kill him first. Kill him first. Kill him first.
Imp's dead. Okay, a little bit of a mishap there. We kill the imps. All good. And then I help Bran with his Cyclops. Chilling. Okay. So now at this point, they have a Wyvern spawning in. And the Wyvern has matched whatever color they have, you know, determined to be the correct one. And they're dunking. They're dunking. So dunking means minigame is about to start.
Nuke him, nuke him. In front of us. Dunk.
You gotta get that buff.
Be careful
You gotta get
later.
that buff, remember, Aegis.
Yep. So Bran reminds me here, make sure, obviously, every time you play a minigame, you need the buff from that room. So I have the wrong buff. I'm going to get the right buff.
Fast, you just go behind this way.
I get absolute. That's the correct buff. And now I hide, and I wait.
Oh, are we dead serious?
I'll build awesome.
We both make a special finisher off this guy. We're in sync. And as soon as they break the diamond under the hourglass, what will happen? Boom. Memory of a failed experiment revives itself. So what's going to happen here? I look up. There's three eyeballs that are on this like wall here. There's a left eyeball, there's a middle eyeball, there's a right eyeball. One of them, this is the easiest minigame. One of them is going to be glowing. I tell Bran, shoot the one that's glowing. Then another one will be glowing. And then I tell him, shoot the one that's glowing. And then there's only one left. And then he shoots that one. And then we're done. Okay? This is the easiest minigame out of all of them. So I say left.
One.
I said one because I'm stupid. I number them 1, 2, 3 in my head for some reason. That was never communicated by me. So then I say left. I say left. He shoots it.
I'll be careful.
I say right.
Careful.
He shoots it. I say mid. He shoots it. And then,
I'm killing you.
just like that, you can start shooting the Hobgoblin. And that's it. That's it. That's your main mech stun. That's your main mech stun. Now it's basically just damage. That's basically just damage. Okay?
You'll live.
So at this
Still
point,
very happy.
all you need to do is just make sure you break the crystal before this runs out, which this timer goes down really slowly. So you probably have like, I don't know, like 15, 30 seconds here. Okay.
I'm
So-
destroying. Yeah, yes.
Yes.
That's
I'm cracking this shit. They break in this shit.
Alright.
Done. Okay, and you can't do damage here, by the way. Like I mentioned before, you can't do damage here. Also, probably pick up the ammo before you break the crystal, because watch what he's about to do.
Out.
He kills everybody on this platform, by the way, so just don't be there.
Out.
I made the mistake of trying to get ammo. Don't do that.
Careful, guys. Be careful. Be careful.
He will kill your ass.
by Aegis, I think, right?
Okay, now there's a separate area of the arena where you do your main damage phase, quote unquote main damage phase. These were like pre-damage phases, like, you know, little teaser. This is your main damage phase, okay? Your main damage phase from relative to you going into the arena is like forward and to the right. Okay, so when you're on the flag platform, just look forward, like straight forward, same level, slightly to the right. There's a triangle here. This is where you do your main damage phase, okay? If you don't get on plates quickly enough here, it will start by itself. So make sure you get on plates quickly enough.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Lock in here.
Yeah, it is.
I'm first for plate.
Okay.
I know.
He's,
I'm coming.
Okay, everyone's changing the loadouts and shit. I'll just briefly explain this, okay? So we got a left plate, we got a middle plate, we got a right plate, okay? Just assign one person to each plate, okay? And then during damage, you're gonna stay next to the plate that you got the buff from. Okay, you're gonna stay next to the plate that you got the buff from.
I'm coming.
Go.
Really simple.
Damage.
Okay, so I get the left plate buff. It's absolute temporality. Blah blah blah. I think all of them are absolute apparently here. So, wow, nice nade, bro. Nice nade.
Looking, guys.
Hey, it's me.
Also, this loadout is definitely not optimal. I just like, we're just playing for the clear. Okay, you could definitely use different shit here. Okay, but all I'm saying is damage is way easier now. Okay, notice there's a big ass white wall here. There's a big ass white wall here. The person that is trapped inside of that wall, they're going to be able to interact with a temporal locus in front of them. When they interact with it, anybody that does not have absolute temporality, aka the people that were not touching the plates, they can break the inside crystal. If you do not break the inside crystal, you will not extend damage. You will not extend damage. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Another thing that I think is something that happened is it removes temporality from people at some point. Okay? And I'm not sure how you're supposed to get it back. I'm not sure if you're supposed to get on plates again. I don't know how the world's first team did this, but we just did so much damage before this main DPS that it didn't even matter that we didn't get a full main damage phase here. Okay? So notice here.
Someone play. Brandon, please.
Coming.
Do I move too?
Yeah, you can move.
You can say.
Dude, look at this guy's big ass nose, bro.
It doesn't matter.
Cilia.
You can help us to shoot the thing.
Also for debuff here, I mean, we're all using it, like I said, Finality, Sniper, Mint. 4 times the Charm, Focus, Fury, Icolos, SR is pretty good because it surge matches Finalities. You can run 4 times the Charm, Precision, Instrument, Omniscient Eye, whatever. Just make sure you have someone on Withering Gaze. Withering Gaze or Twilight Arsenal or both, probably both. This phase is quite long. Yeah, shoot this guy in the nose.
Right again.
Yep, got it.
You go.
They break the crystal. Okay, so what we did actually is we had 5 people get plate buff, and then 1 person was responsible for shooting the temporal locuses once they broke open, and the person inside the cage interacted with it. Because you can shoot through the walls. You can shoot through the walls during this damage phase, so like someone can just be on middle and not have plate buff and like shoot the crystals. Okay, I will say I have no idea why I got absolute temporality removed. So yeah, I don't know how to get it back. Maybe you get back on plates. Maybe you just have a shit ton of people get the plate buff and someone else comes over and replaces me on my left plate. That's what we were doing. Somebody like we got right twice in a row. Somebody with absolute temporality just replaced the person that was on right, or somebody with temporality just replaced the person that was on right, because you need the temporality buff to obviously interact with the crystals.
All right, give the right.
I'm going right.
So you'll notice here the third thingy.
Careful of Matrix.
I
think this was like our second time getting to main damage, or maybe our third time getting to main damage. In other teams clears, everyone stayed in middle plate after first grabbing. I believe you can interact with the crystal through the walls though. Someone check me on that though. Not 100%. Looked like that on the other streams. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you watch somebody. I'll put in the pin comment. Okay, if someone gets an explanation for this, I'll put in the pin comment. Okay.
To your right, guys. Help me. To your right.
So we got, I think you get 3 extensions here. So we got 2/3 of a phase here. And then I got crystalled. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got crystalled and I'm like, yo,
Left side.
I don't got absolute. I don't got absolute. How the hell do I do this?
I can't.
I don't have absolute as well.
So at this point, we're just sending damage. I'm just like, yo, just shoot the boss, right? Just shoot the boss, because this amount of health is easy. This is easy. Like you can clear probably with like this much left. I think Salt cleared with like this much left or something like that. So this is chill, super chill.
Just do that.
Okay, apparently ATP Sage just like everybody was just on middle and like you know, I don't know. I guess maybe like don't be near the play. I don't know what actually wiped my temporality, but just apparently everyone was on middle. So, yeah.
Do damage, guys.
I mean, it's more than clearable, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Okay.
don't have damage.
And then for final stand here, you have the luxury of using whatever you want. My team went with Parasite Mint because that's what we're comfortable with. You can run Finality. I know people cleared on Finality. I would say Parasite Mint is super brain dead for final, and it's a very close range boss. It's basically like OG Koregos damage phase. Very, very chill. I would probably do Finality Mint if I were you. But I'm sorry, Parasite Mint if I were you, but up to you.
What?
Okay. This is your final damage phase. This is your final damage phase. This is the end of it all.
Listen. I remember.
Okay, real quick here. On the way up to damage, there's going to be 6 cubes that need to be interacted with, and everybody has the banish buff. If one person accidentally interacts with 2 cubes, one of your teammates is going to die. So just go in roster order. I don't know. Just determine who is going to pick up the cubes in what order. There's 6 cubes. Just pick them up in a specific order. Anybody can pick up any cube at any time. So just make sure there's an order. Okay, I typed the order in chat. We just went in roster order. I always pick up first. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to
It's
skip
gonna
forward
be
here a little bit.
forward, right, forward, left.
And
forward.
listen, I really had to piss here, so my hand was shaking, bro. My aim was not the greatest on this Harpy. The rest of my teammates, they have like double special, and they're like, you know, my energy weapon ammo here doesn't really matter. So I offered to just like, you know, do most of the Harpy's health, whatever. You know, let's just not look at my piss aim, and we're gonna move on. Okay, so as soon as someone makes their way through this portal here, this is the final damage phase portal, right? It's in a different place from the rest of them, I think. But yeah, just actually no, isn't this the Wyvern portal? Because it is the Wyvern room, I think. Regardless, you're going through this portal, okay? Go through this portal. The second someone goes through, you're going to get banishment, okay? When you get banishment...
Do not activate.
When you get banishment, you'll notice... Yeah, this is the Wyvern room, isn't it? It looks like the Wyvern room. Oh, no.
Go.
Probably the Wyvern room, whatever. Anyways, I dunked on the first cube, right? This laser tickles you, by the way. Don't worry too much about the laser. I'm going to dunk on the first cube. I mean, look at that shit.
Forward.
Yeah. Also, like K3 is calling, the path of these islands is set, right? Also, if you fall off the map, don't waste your super. There's a nice little elevator that boop, sends you right back up. Okay, you might have to modify the order, but you know, sends you right back up.
Yep.
Chilling.
Probably right.
Also, another thing you should know is that as soon as you interact with the cube, before the actual land is visible of the next island, the cube is visible. So watch
Probably
this.
right. I don't.
Right.
Yeah, right.
No.
3. Okay, so watch this. Watch it. You see that? Cube is immediately visible. Very, very, very visible. So just look for the cube. If you haven't memorized the path, just look for the cube.
Forward. Left. Gonna be left now.
Yep, that's
Go.
right. So this is dunk 5.
And right now.
It's not right. It's forward, but yeah.
Nice. I will
So
activate.
now K3 is dunking
Wait.
on this.
Be ready. Damage.
Okay, damage does not start right away, by the way. Damage does not start right away. So the boss, I believe, chooses 2 random people to give absolute temporality. So your teammates have to be looking at the top of their screen. In order to start damage, the teammates with absolute temporality need to interact with 2 temporal loci. Okay. They're each going to interact with one, or one person can interact with, but it doesn't matter. Okay, just interact with them. Okay, and everybody else who doesn't have absolute temporality is going to shoot the inside of the crystal that was just exposed. Okay, so look at this.
Look for boss.
I got behind. I got right.
Okay, I pre-shoot that one. My teammate breaks it open, and it's
Damage.
Damage, yep.
And this damage phase is super chill. Your ass is not dying unless... I actually don't know how you would die during this damage phase. If you parasited yourself with a... You don't even have a times 20. I don't know how you're dying on that. Okay, listen, just hug the boss. You're not going to die.
Full charge down. Who has absolute? Pay attention for next time.
Absolute will be given to someone when the boss goes dark and immune. Okay? Also, the more and more damage you do to this boss, like the more and more crystals like he will keep like spawning. Okay, he's immune. What does this mean?
Be careful.
Somebody has absolute.
No. Absolute.
Right. Behind. Left.
I shoot
Nice,
left.
nice.
Boom. Back to damage.
Damage.
Come on, guys.
Do you hear that noise that guy's making, bro? He's grinding, bro. He's going. Wah, wah.
Be ready for next set of crystals in case.
There you go. Diastoli's been added in.
Keep damaging.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you get another chance here at crystals, by the way. But I think we did enough damage that we just like sent it. Oh, never mind. We did get crystals.
Tell me now.
Crystals.
Right.
By the way, this final set of crystals, I think you have like 5 seconds or something to do. It's really short, so just full send.
Right.
I have absolute temporality here. You see, destroy temporal locus.
Behind.
I think it's 3 sets of crystals and 2 people each. So it's 2, 2, 2, probably the all 3 pairs of people on your team. Makes sense, right? That's kind of how the selection is done for a lot of the mechanics in this raid.
Left, 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 left.
I'm looking around just in case there's more crystals because I didn't realize there were only 2.
Yes.
Damage.
Yes. Come on, team. Come on. Laser.
Get
Yes.
out of here.
And that's it. Okay, there's still decoherence, obviously, so just like, get off the platform, but I think everyone learned their lesson from regular DP day 1, get off the platform. And that's it. That's it. Okay, that is the whole raid. Yeah, apparently ATP said you should stand on the middle plate, like to do damage, and just like interact with the crystals maybe from middle during main damage phase. But honestly, as long as you have people with backup plates or backup buffs and stuff from getting on plate, you should be fine for main damage phase. And again, we cleared like pretty safely here, I would say. So, if you guys had like if you guys have like more optimal damage strategies than we did, obviously like you saw our main damage, that was a mess, right? So, you guys got this, and I believe in all of you. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I probably won't be able to answer them because I've literally knowledge dumped everything I know about this raid that I've just learned in the past 12 hours or so into this video. Hopefully some other people in the comments will be able to answer them. And yeah, bye-bye.